Be prepared. Oh, man, do we have a lot to talk about today. No doubt about that. All right, here we go.
Did I just say Pluto TV is free? Yes, I did. You can even watch Pluto TV
Oh, yeah, that's much better.
You pet a dog. Pluto TV has thousands of movies and TV shows.
Here we go.
For free. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
The Christmas countdown's on at JCPenney. Through Saturday, use your coupon and dash away with very merry savings on last-minute gifts across the store, like fine jewelry stocking stuffers up to
Good morning. Welcome, everyone.
And save up to 50% on comfy.
Got about 4 or 5 big things we got to touch on.
Curbside pickup to make your trip extra quick. We got your holiday. JCPenney offers good on select items in 1224. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year. It is Christmas week, and we will be here live all week long, and, of course, live the entire week after Christmas as well, since Christmas is on a Sunday this year. So we'll be here with you live all week. I know a lot of these other guys in radio taking a vacation this week because this is like a difficult time to do a radio show. We will be here live all week, and in fact, all the way through our cruise, we'll be here live every day of the week. All right, well, every weekday of the week. Welcome, everyone. There's a lot to talk about, a lot going on, and this is one of those days. I did all my show prep, and I knew what I was going to lead with on the show today, and then I saw something, a very troubling, disturbing article, and I just totally changed what I was going to start the show about. Although the thing that I thought I was going to start with this morning, I will be getting to in a little bit too. There's a lot of issues going on right now we're going to talk about today, including one of our guests, someone that has been on this radio show, has been a guest on my podcast, Father Pavone from Right Side Broadcasting, has been thrown out of the priesthood by the Vatican, and we're going to talk about that coming up. That's what I was going to lead with today because it's very big and it's connected to the Twitter Files Part 6, which came out over the weekend, and I am going to get to that here in the first hour. But I first want to talk about what's going on inside the Republican Party and Trump. And what got me to switch what I was going to start with was a very disturbing article that I read out of Turning Point USA's event over the weekend. And Turning Point USA, for those that don't know, is Charlie Kirk's organization, which is really good. And Charlie Kirk is a big Trump guy, and you know his support for Trump has not wavered. But they interviewed some people there, and I want to go through this article. But before I do that, I want to play this clip from one of the scummiest people out there, John Bolton. John Bolton, he's a real piece of work, John Bolton. And, you know, John Bolton hates Trump like the plague, and the liberals love him. The never-Trumpers love him. I can't stand the guy just because of that ridiculous mustache. Can you imagine what it must be like to have a meal, go to lunch or dinner with John Bolton with all that food getting in his mustache? It's just really bizarre. I don't know, maybe he has some disfigurement he's covering up with that. Maybe there's a problem with his upper lip he doesn't want people. I don't know what it is, but it's awful. Now, John Bolton was around during the Bush era, G.W. Bush, and the left, they acted as if this guy was Hitler or the Antichrist. Or I mean, they thought John Bolton was one of the most evil people in America. But now he's bashing Trump. They love him. They love him. He's the oracle of wisdom, and John Bolton is a reasonable man, and blah, blah, blah. The same people that said he was the devil a few years ago think that he is now the go-to guy. So he gave an interview over the weekend. He was talking about Trump. I'll play this for you, then I'll get to this Turning Point article. Here's John Bolton over the weekend slamming our great president.
A lot of Republicans I talk to say the Republican Party is unfixable at the moment.
Well, I think that position is delusional. I think that this whole idea that there's a Trump movement out there is simply wrong. The fundamental point...
Okay, now, let's just go through... And it's interesting how the questioner says the Republican Party is unfixable, and what he means is there's a Trump movement. So John Bolton says there's no Trump movement. Well, who are all these people at the Trump rallies? How can he say there's no movement when the crowd size at a Trump rally is only limited by the fire codes? All right, back to it.
Unfixable at the moment.
Well, I think that position is delusional. I think that this whole idea that there's a Trump movement out there is simply wrong. The fundamental point in politics is philosophy. Everything else flows from that. Donald Trump has no philosophy. Donald Trump doesn't think in policy terms. There is no Trumpism, and there's no real succession to Trump. And I think one piece of evidence for that point, flowing from the November 2022 election, is the fact that so many Trump-endorsed candidates lost. So I think this whole thing represents what's fundamentally the reality about Donald Trump. He's an aberration in American politics, and it's the job not of the liberal media, not of the Democratic Party. It's the job of Republicans to repair the damage he's done, and that's part of what we're about here.
Yeah, all that making America great again, all that damage has to be reversed. You know, okay, so I saw that, and I wasn't even going to play that on the show today, because who cares what John Bolton thinks? So, you know, if it's a holiday week and everyone's on vacation, and you've got to fill in a guest on Fox News, and you need someone who's going to bash Trump, he's your go-to guy. So I didn't think too much of John Bolton bashing Trump until I read this article, and this is what really ticked me off. This was at Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA, and Charlie Kirk, he's on board. We have nothing to worry with him. But listen to this. The, Turning Point USA's America Fest is a celebration of all things Trump. Don Jr. was a big draw at the event in Phoenix yesterday. This is all yesterday, Sunday. Speakers signed off with calls to make America great again. And the whole shebang was organized by Charlie Kirk, whose navy suit, white shirt, and red tie are a satirical endorsement of Donald Trump. But things got more complicated when you ask attendees if they are backing Donald Trump or Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for the 2024 Republican nomination. Michelle Phillips, a bookkeeper from Southern California, said she's not made up her mind, but either one of them fits the bill. Lori McHugh said she was still a Trump woman that ended in a statement with a but. I love DeSantis, she said, wearing a star-spangled hat as she browsed a stall selling sequined purses and with the name Trump on them. She says Trump is very polarizing. Some people just hate him. This should be Trump territory back in the article here. This should be Trump territory, a gathering of grassroots conservatives, where MAGA cap-wearing supporters cluster around media stands to hear Matt Gaetz being interviewed or have a picture taken with Don Jr. A man in a brick-patterned suit is a reminder of Trump's build the wall. Yeah, I've seen that guy. He's at all the events. You guys seen the guy in the brick suit? Everyone's seen him if you've been to an event. But interviews with a dozen attendees suggest Trump is not guaranteed to win their votes if Ron DeSantis decides to run against him. Even Fox News host Tucker Carlson hedged his bets when asked by an audience member who he was backing after a speech Saturday night. I'm not endorsing anyone, Tucker said. I have no idea what's going to happen in the Republican primary. He praised Trump's 2016 campaign, blah, blah, blah. The matchup remains hypothetical, but Trump has seen his frontrunner status battered by disappointing midterm results when he took much of the blame for Republicans' failure to win back the Senate, which is nonsense, and he won hundreds and hundreds of seats. So I want to ask you guys a couple questions about this in the first segment, and you're welcome to call in, and I have a lot of other issues I'm going to touch on this morning, but I want to hear your thoughts on what's going on here. Have these never-Trumpers in the Republican Party successfully turned enough people against Trump that there's actually going to be a competition in the Republican primary? And if it was just John Bolton, I wouldn't care. You know, who cares what John Bolton thinks? But it's not just John Bolton. These are people that went to Turning Point USA. And, you know, Turning Point USA is as pro-Trump as it gets. And when I'm at a place which is pretty much a Trump rally crowd, Turning Point USA, and I'm hearing people say, well, I don't know. it seems to me that these never Trumpers have really made some gains that we've got to be honest with ourselves about, or we can't fix the problem. So I'm going to throw this question to you out there. You know, have they been successful? Have they turned enough Trump people against Trump? This whole thing, I had some callers on Friday's show. Well, he's polarizing. Everyone who runs for president of the United States is polarizing. I don't care who they are. Everyone's polarizing. I'm polarizing. You're polarizing. Jesus is polarizing, right? Because we had Christmas coming up. Everyone is polarizing. There has not been a single person to run for president who has not been polarizing. People forget, you know, because someone was president for 1 or 2 terms and they're remembered fondly, people think they weren't polarizing. All the presidents were polarizing. They all had opponents. They had rough primaries. They had rough general elections. There's no one who was president or ran for president who wasn't polarizing. So that's just a ridiculous position. So we'll take our first break. I'll come back. I'd like to hear your calls on this. And obviously, I'm still with Trump. I'm with Trump for life. I mean, there's no, you know, I'm not talking. But what I'm wondering is, do we? We got a lot going against us. And when I hear people talk this way openly at Turning Point USA, we got to figure out how big of a problem this is, if it's a problem, and what we can do to convince these people that they're being conned by the Lincoln Project and Coulter Never Trumper crap. All right, our number is toll free 1-888-GO-KANE-1. If you're on hold, stand by 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll take our break and be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now.
Steve Kane Show.
This is the Steve Kane Show.
Hold on.
With Brian
Steve Kane Show.
on Oldies 95.9 and 106.9.
Oh, hold on. Okay.
We know you'll love our soothing store, so come in and pick up as many free $10 gift certificates as you want to give to family, friends, and coworkers. You'll find awesome gifts for everyone on your list. Text JOY, J-O-Y, to 59925 for more discounts and specials. Wishing you happy holidays and many blessings.
Hey, it's Scott Shannon, and who doesn't want to have a home security system? So, by popular demand, we're bringing it back. Who wants a free doorbell camera? I wish I could give everyone a free doorbell camera, but I can't. I can't give the first 40 free channel.
Well, what do you guys think? Let me know in the chat your thoughts on that. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Yeah. Every line on the board is lit, so people have opinions. We'll find out what they are when we get back. Where's everyone located today? Like, you don't have to. I don't mean your address. Like, what city or state or country are you in? Curious. Of course, I'm in Florida. Well, thank you, Wesley. Good morning, Brian. This is all bogus. Yeah, I mean, you know, they very well could have just gone around and printed quotes of people that told them what they wanted to hear for the narrative of the article. But if you would have gone to Turning Point USA last year, you wouldn't have been able to find 12 people to say that. You just wouldn't have. Utah. It's 61 degrees here, people are asking. But the high today is going to be like 75, 78. So that's pretty good. San Diego, Cape Coral, Utah. 6 below? Oh my goodness. If it was 6 below, this is not a joke, that DeSantis would declare a state of emergency and the whole state would be shut down if it got 6 below here in South Florida. It would be as big of a deal as if a hurricane was coming. We haven't even turned our heat on yet. We run the air conditioning every day. There hasn't been a day without the AC running. Wow. Over the weekend, yeah, it's going to be cold over the weekend. It's going to be in the 30s on Christmas Eve. Upper 20s, oh my goodness.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. It's Christmas week. There is still time to do your last-minute Christmas shopping at MyPillow.com. You know, if you go to MyPillow.com, click on the Christmas specials. It's right there at the top of the website, and they have updated them, and there are just great deals for last-minute Christmas gifts. You know, you can have these things delivered right to the recipient, but there's still time to get them in time to wrap and put under the tree. The Giza Elegance pillows, I have 4 of these. They are spectacular. The Giza Elegance pillows are kind of like an upscale, well, it's not kind of, it is. It's an upscale My Pillow, right? It's got that same patented fill that's beautiful and works so great. And the outside of it, the case of the pillow is with the 100% Giza cotton. It has a fancy thing. It's really cool. Those are just $24.98 with our promo code Kane at checkout. K-A-N-E, the Giza Elegance pillow, just $24.98 with the promo code Kane at checkout. Those are normally $69.98. So it's a huge deal. Now, if you go to the Christmas specials at MyPillow.com, there are many there. And again, you can take advantage of all the specials at MyPillow.com with our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, not just the ones I highlight, but I share my favorites, and I'll share some of the favorites throughout today's show. These Giza Elegance pillows are wonderful. This is what I sleep on each and every night with my wife. And these are the ones when my wife was in the hospital, we took the Giza Elegance pillows to the hospital. And the deals are so great. She didn't want to bring the Giza Elegance pillows home from the hospital because they'd been in the hospital where all the sick people go. So we just bought new ones and left the old ones in the hospital because the deal is so good. Just $24.98, usually $69.98. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane. All right, there's only one opening on our very busy board of calls at 1-888-GO-KANE. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Maria from Florida.
Hey, Maria, what's up?
Hey, how you doing this morning?
Doing okay. How are you?
All right. Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Well, thank you.
Okay. I love the new studio that y'all got.
Oh, you still haven't seen the new studio. This studio is new to me, but it's the old studio here, the new studio. You haven't even seen that one yet. Wait till you see it. It looks like SpaceX came in here and built it. It's really cool.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. Yes, I called to say this. Yes, they've been successful to lie and fool people that Trump is not, the person that we want anymore. And they use it. It's a couple of them that voted for Trump. There's a lot of them that I know voted for Trump that turned against him. And they have their radio shows. Some of them have their radio shows. Some of them on YouTube, like Jason Tatum. He's saying that he's for Ron DeSantis. Yeah.
Well, I'm for Ron DeSantis, but I'm for Trump first. Right?
That's not what they want to vote for Ron DeSantis. They don't want to vote for Trump. They say he do too many stupid things, and I listen to their show and I listen to it, on the rebound, sometimes when you're not on, because I mostly listen to yours. But when they are on, I listen to it and listen what they got to say. After maybe 2 minutes, I turn it.
Yeah.
I hear it.
Yeah.
So it's really deceiving. It's really it's sad, but these other folks that was voted for Bush was with George W. Bush and with the Trump, and only why they went to him because he actually was the best man and still is.
Well, a lot of these, like I know who you're talking about, Officer Tatum, who he was Black MAGA, and let me tell you, if I were black, I would probably be the most famous, like, conservative radio guy in America. If you're black and you say conservative things and MAGA things, you get elevated beyond imagination. I'm just a white guy with a guitar, like on American Idol, It's hard to make it, because we have to pay the dues of things that were over before we were born. But anyway, I've heard about Officer Tatum turning on Trump. So when you see these people that are now never Trumpers, you got to ask yourself, were they ever really for the MAGA movement and Trump, or did they just jump on some bandwagon for fame and fortune and clicks and likes and things like that?
That's why they did it. That's the only thing I can think of, because I watched them. I've been watching them for a while, and it seems like every day more people come out, the same people I've seen on these radio shows in 2016, or maybe only the clip-based shows. And
we need to come up with a new name for them. I know a lot of people call them backstabbers. I don't know. We got to come up with a new name for these formerly fake MAGA people who are formal MAGA people that we're finding out were fake MAGA, like Officer Tatum. Something, a play on Pence instead of backstabber, some kind of play on Pence. I don't know. We got to come up with a new word to describe these traitors. Pences. Pences. I don't know. Maybe you guys can help me come up with a name.
Yeah, Mike Pence, that's a disgrace. I never in my life ever heard.
Oh yeah.
The president.
Oh, yeah. No. I haven't either. All right, Maria. Take care. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. We'll come back with more calls, and I got a lot more to get into, too. I wasn't even going to talk about what I brought up in the first half hour here, but I had to because of what happened in Turning Point USA. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. If you're on hold, stand by. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again.
Huh?
It's already the bottom. Wow.
Yeah, I know. Oh, Operation Mike Break. I see you watch Mark Dice. Mark Dice did a whole video on that yesterday. Hey, Frank. What's up? Good advice, Mike. Welcome. If you're a member on the channel, show some of the icons, the member icons. What sounds like a siren? Is that a question, or are you hearing a siren? Awesome. You hear a siren?
Let me introduce you to Dr.
Oh, hey, thanks, Wesley. The Republican establishment. What did you say? The Republican establishment is super desperate. Absolutely, they are. They're paranoid and petrified at the same time. Yeah.
The joy of doing this all these years is helping patients, and the lays is just amazing.
They are terrified. That's why they're on full anti-Trump mode. Absolutely.
NBA, football players, female,
fan-wise
it
noise,
doesn't
maybe it's
matter.
the
The laser
computer.
will help.
Oh.
Once we finish patients up, I never hear from anybody.
Hey,
What I
I'm
do
sorry.
hear from them is the family, the wife, the cousin, the nephew that comes back to me. And that's the biggest joy.
You could be hearing the fan to the computers.
At 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And say bye-bye to your pain.
Brian Craig here with a question for seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a healthcare advocate at the touch of a button? Would that make life easier for you? You can with
I'm surprised you can hear that. That's how good the mic is, because it's down here on the floor. I don't even notice it.
Even deal with your pharmacist to make sure
Kind
that
of
you
tuned it
have
out.
Now I can hear it.
find a doctor, including your
When there's like a
specialist.
tick or something, you don't mention it, because then people hear it.
Hospital, they can help you with that too. They'll even be your advocate when you're in the hospital to make sure you get the care you need and the care you deserve. And that's just the beginning of what they do. I Will Advocates takes care of all Steve Kane's healthcare issues too, and they can do the same for you. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them most. Call Debbie at I Will Advocates right now. Toll free 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326.
I don't know what that means.
1-877-275-2326.
Hi, it's Drew Barrymore here with a few of my favorite things that are absolutely free. Taking a walk in the city, petting a dog, and streaming movies and TV shows on Pluto TV. Did I just say Pluto TV?
Well, I'm going to get in next to Father Frank Pavone being defrocked. You guys know him. He's the priest on right side.
Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
You're not a sound mechanic. You probably don't think they exist. One does. Eddie at Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
And we'll get to that today, too. We got a lot to get into.
Doesn't need. He works on all makes and models. Old classic cars, even hybrids. Champagne Automotive Repair is the official mechanic of the Steve Kane Show. Call 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
Pincers? Yeah, that's not a bad. That's a big Shay. That's not bad. A pincer? A Benedict Pence or something. Maybe that.
So, then I have the show for you. Introducing new hands-free Skechers Slip-ins. With new Skechers Slip-ins, you just step in and off you go. You don't even need to lace up. So how do Skechers Slip-ins work? Well, there's a special smooth comfort pillow to heel that helps your foot slide right into place. So just step in it and go. Find new hands-free Skechers.
Well, I don't want. I mean, I've heard of Officer Tatum. I might have seen him once or twice, but I don't watch or listen to a lot of other people because I don't want to like be influenced by them, like what topics I bring up or opinions. If you listen to other people, you end up talking about what they talk about, or you say to themselves, "Oh, I better not talk about that since it's already been discussed," you know. So I don't listen to a lot of other people because of that.
226642. That's 754-222-6642.
I don't like that one, Johnny, because you could slip and say something else that you don't want to say.
Hosted by Giant Recreation World second-generation owner and CEO, Larry McIntyre, and his co-host, Christina Schreiber, RVL. Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. Think you might have COVID? Have you come into contact with someone who is sick? Are you traveling and need a COVID test? Same-day PCR testing is available at any lab test now.
I don't know what you mean, elegant junk. I have no idea what that means.
Now,
Here we go.
back to the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 45 years on the air.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve will be back today. He's all well, and the World Cup is over. So Steve will be back with us in progress later on today. 1-888-GO-KANE1's our number. If you're on hold, stand by. I want to get into this defrocked priest story. And, you know, I tell you, guests on this show have run into all kinds of trouble, right? We've had guests on this show who have been arrested, been raided by the FBI, and now we have a guest who's been defrocked. I'm talking about Father Pavone. You guys know Father Pavone, Frank Pavone. He's the priest that you see on Right Side Broadcasting all the time. And he's been a guest on this show. He's been a guest on my podcast. And my recollection is, I should have checked this, but I'm pretty sure Father Frank Pavone, who's one of the most vocal, probably the most vocal pro-life priest in America, but I believe this is just a recollection, and I'll throw this out to you to let me know if I'm right or wrong. I believe Father Frank Pavone is the person who brought Norma McCorvey, who is the woman from Roe v. Wade, brought her to Jesus. I believe she became a Christian through Father Frank Pavone. It just popped in my mind when I first heard this story, and I meant to look it up before I went on the air, but I'm pretty sure he did. If you know yes or no on that, let me know. But this is not good, and I'm pretty upset about it, and you should be too. And there's a big story about Father Frank Pavone. I'm going to go through this. This is, if I can find this story, hold on, I'm having a hard time finding it. Here we go. A high-profile priest who served as national co-chair of pro-life Voices for Trump has been defrocked by the Vatican for, quote, blasphemous communications on social media, unquote, and persistent disobedience of the diocese. Father Frank Pavone was dismissed as a priest by the Rome-based prefect of the dicastery for the clergy, never even heard of that before, on November 9th. And we're just hearing about this now. And the decision was shared with all U.S. clergy December 13th. Father Pavone was given ample opportunity to defend himself in the proceedings. It was also given multiple opportunities to submit himself to the authority of his bishop, the Vatican said, in a letter sent by the Archbishop of the United States. And the Archbishop of the United States is also the Vatican ambassador to the United States. It was determined that Father Frank Pavone had no reasonable justification for his actions. Now, he did do a couple of things that are not priestly. And one of them I would not have done under any circumstances. But this is a high-profile defrocking, and they defrocked Father Pavone a lot faster than those priests that molest the little boys. Father Pavone told the Catholic News Agency he had not been notified about the Vatican's judgment. He tweeted in response, "Hi, friends. So in every profession, including the priesthood, if you defend the unborn, you'll be treated like them. The only difference is that when we are aborted, we continue to speak loud and clear." He then recorded a video, posted to social media on Saturday, which I watched. It's a long video, and he was still wearing his priest clothes. So had the collar on and everything. He may not have any other clothes, Father Frank Pavone. You know, he may only have his priest outfits. He recorded a video posted to social media on Saturday, talking about constant persecution he's received, and saying he was forced out because most Catholic priests were Democrats and dislike his pro-Trump, pro-life stance. Yeah, I think there's something to that. And, you know, Father Frank Pavone was outspoken pro-life when it wasn't always popular. And now that we've overturned Roe v. Wade and it's going to the states, you know, what I didn't see, I read several articles about this. I'll continue with this one because there's more details about the excuse they used to take his priestly titles away from him. But they defrocked him for some things that he said. However, Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden, who not are only pro-abortion in their words, but in their actions through legislation that they've supported their entire lives, how can Catholics Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden be called good Catholics by the Pope and allowed to receive Holy Communion, and Father Frank Pavone has been defrocked, and he didn't even molest a kid? Which it's you know, I don't like to talk badly about the church being Catholic, but I mean, come on, this is a bit much. Fiercely political, Father Pavone has caused controversy with work at an outside organization and by placing a dead fetus on an altar in Amarillo, Texas in November 2016. In 2019, he was removed from his diocese. In September 2020, Father Pavone was accused of having used scandalous words not becoming of a Catholic priest. Now, okay, now here's what we're going to get into what Father Pavone did that they said resulted in him being defrocked. And I'm going to share these with you. I cannot share them word for word for two reasons. The first one I can't say on the radio because it involves the F word. The second one involves hardcore blasphemy, which I am not going to do. And he did both of these. So I'll share with you what he did, and then I'll ask your thoughts on this. Father Pavone, in his tweets, which the diocese issued a statement condemning, called Joe Biden a effing loser. He put the whole word. Father Pavone wrote the whole F word with an ing on Twitter. He called Joe Biden an effing loser. He said the Democrat Party was God-hating and America-hating. Okay, now using the F word is not very priestly. I get that, okay? I've never heard a priest use the F word. I'm sure they have. I know he has. He's a priest. Well, he was a priest, but I've never seen that. He declared that Biden supporters can't say an effing thing in support of their loser candidate without using the word Trump. So he used the F word a second time on Twitter, Father Pavone. What the blank do you have to say for yourself, losers? Father Pavone asked in the now deleted tweets. His Twitter biography gives his location as Florida, which is true. He's here in Florida. But it's unclear whether he still ministers to a fixed congregation. On Saturday, Pavone was forced out of the church for his views. The Biden administration comes along, and other radical wackos come along and try to make you cooperate in the killing of babies, Father Pavone said, dressed in a leather jacket on his YouTube set and wearing his priestly clothes. Now, he did, I don't see, where is this here? I got to find this, the blasphemy, which I'm not going to say. But he did commit blasphemy, and I don't see it in this article. Let me see if it's in this other article. Live radio people, I'm so prepared. I got all these articles here, and I don't see. They say that he committed blasphemy, but they didn't give the example. They just gave the F-bombs. Let me look in this other. I got another article from Fox News. Let's see here if they have it. Father Frank Pavone, well-known pro-life activist, has been dismissed for blasphemous communication on social media and persistent disobedience of the lawful instruction of his bishop. Okay, but where is the blasphemy? I'll have to look for it during the break because I'm not seeing the blasphemy. Well, let me tell you, okay? He said, because I remember this because I read the article, he said GD, which is pretty bad, especially if you're a priest. But it's pretty bad for anyone to say this. And I'll get the exact context during the break. I'll look through the article and find it. Now, both of these things that Father Pavone did are wrong, right? He used the F word twice and committed blasphemy, which is a big deal. But this is my question to you. Got a couple questions here. Are these two actions, the F word and the blasphemy, do they rise to the level of him being defrocked? Or should he have just been punished? Do you think that he was defrocked because he is pro-Trump and also vocally pro-life? I think so. I think the only reason they did this is because he's pro-Trump and he's very vocally pro-life. And he's gotten much more popular in conservative circles. He's at all the Trump rallies. He's on right side broadcasting regularly. And I just don't think what he did rises to the level of just banishing him from the church forever. What he did was wrong. Both of those things were wrong. I don't want to defend either of the things that he did. No one should be saying GD, and priests should not be using the F word. But I don't think it rises to the level of throwing him out of the church. In fact, they were swifter than if he had molested multiple altar boys. So I'm not happy about this at all, but I want to hear your thoughts on it. And it should also be noted that in the Twitter Files Part 6 over the weekend, which I'm going to talk about as well today, we found out that there was a FBI task force of 80 FBI agents whose only job was monitoring Twitter and censoring people on Twitter. And Right Side Broadcasting, which Father Pavone is a part of, was one of the Twitter accounts that the FBI was trying to get banned. So what I'd like to know, who really was behind this? Was it Pelosi? Was the FBI? Did the FBI and Pelosi have a role in Father Frank Pavone being defrocked? The priest who brought Norma McCorvey from Roe v. Wade to Christ. I'm pretty sure of that. Because he's been on the radio here, I've had him on my podcast, and on one of those interviews, I know I talked to him about, I'm pretty sure I talked to him about it. It could have been the other priest from Priest for Life, but I'm pretty sure Father Pavone is the one who did it. All right, listen, there's only one opening on our board. If you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. Back after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hi, this is Maureen Cohen from Nutrition World Palm Beach Gardens. We are so excited to be celebrating 50 years here in South Florida. The Cohen family started their first health food store in 1972, and ever since have been one of the largest locally owned, family-run health food stores in the area. We carry thousands of supplements like vitamins, minerals, herbs, homeopathics, diet and fitness, and so much more. All your favorite top-quality brands. We also have tons of natural foods like gluten-free, paleo, and organic, as well as health and beauty aids, pet foods, and more. Visit Vanessa, Trish, Denson, Scott, and Bruce. They're here 7 days a week for all your family's natural health needs. So stop by Nutrition World at the northeast corner of PGA Boulevard and Prosperity Farms Road in the Carmine's Market Plaza by the Prosperity entrance. You can call us or text us anytime at 561-626-4377. That's 626-4377, or check out our website at nutritionworld.com. Come see us 7 days a week at Nutrition World, Palm Beach Gardens.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Hey, my true oldies listeners, John Tesh here with some intelligence for your retirement this time. When you're looking for a retirement advisor, you know trust and experience are two big qualities to look for. And as it turns out, my friend Jupiter Joe Thomas possesses both of these. Whether you're in retirement or looking to retire, I want you to give local expert Joe Thomas a call. Here's the number, 561-743-0999. Or, even simpler, you can go to jupiterjoe.com. That's jupiterjoe.com.
The Steve Kane 2023 MAGA Cruise is right around the corner. We leave January 28th on the Celebrity Apex out of Fort Lauderdale. First stop, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Then Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. And then St. Kitts. With exclusive events just for our group. Fine dining together every night. Cocktail parties, shore excursions, onboard activities, and a whole lot more. On the line is Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. Ian, why should listeners book right now?
I blocked this group space during COVID during the height of the pandemic, so we've got some incredible deals.
Call Ian right now and lock in your cabin. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. Join us as we celebrate our president, Donald Trump. Make your reservation right now. 561-244-5779. No liberal stowaways allowed.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. So Christmas is on Sunday. Oh, man, and I've been telling you guys, for Christmas dinner this year, my family, we're having Anne Marie's. I'm going to Anne Marie's on Saturday, and I'm ordering takeout, and we're going to have that on Christmas. And here is what we're having for Christmas dinner from Anne Marie's in Pompano. I'm going to get takeout of lasagna, baked ziti, and the spaghetti and meatballs. You know, these are the Italian favorites, classics. And the meatballs at Anne Marie's are huge. They're like soccer balls. I mean, they're massive. And, of course, everything homemade, including the sauces and the meatballs and everything else that goes along with it. And I'm also going to get a Sicilian meat lover's pizza. Oh, man, I cannot wait. I'm very much looking forward to it. And I try to save the Anne Marie's commercials for as late in the program as I can, because now as I'm thinking about all that great food at Anne Marie's, I'm starting to get hungry now. And I can't eat. I can't eat till after 9 o'clock. And my stomach is, I'm starting to get some hunger pains now just talking about Anne Marie's. And I'm also going to get an entree of the lobster ravioli. The lobster ravioli is available in both appetizer and in the entree. It's made with fresh Maine lobster, and they use the claw meat, which is the best meat of the lobster. And I'm going to get the entree of the lobster ravioli, so there's enough for everyone. Anne-Marie's located in Pompano on the northwest corner of Copans Road and US 1 Federal Highway in the same plaza as the movie theater. All right, there's only one opening on our board at 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. Now, I think Father Frank was defrocked because he's with Trump. He's part of the banishment of Trump, and they don't want him in the primaries going around talking to Catholics in his priestly clothes and telling them to vote for Trump, who, by the way, overturned Roe v. Wade, Donald Trump. And Father Pavone has been working on that his entire adult life, overturning Roe v. Wade. And he is partly responsible for what Trump did, overturning Roe v. Wade. So he did a couple things there, don't get me wrong, but it's, was he targeted because of his Trump support? All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Councilman Ray from the town of South Palm Beach.
All right, South Palm Beach, go ahead.
Hi, yes. I think the reason that the Turning Point USA people are sort of tipping away from Trump is the Turning Point USA are all young people, and the young people aren't down with taking the vaccines. And Trump is pushing the vaccines.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. Where's he pushing that? Where's he pushing vaccines?
Well, he's backed off on it, but he was...
Oh, he's backed... Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Excuse me. He hasn't mentioned the vaccines in over a year.
Well, he won't...
So do you want to retract that? Do you want to retract your statement? Because he's not... You even said he's not talking about it.
I got these stupid earbuds, and they're so low I can barely...
I know. You can barely hear. I know.
But listen, let me tell you, it's...
Are you gonna... Who are you going to vote for, Trump or DeSantis?
I'm gonna vote for Trump, and there's no way DeSantis is gonna... I'm a Trump guy. But the vaccines are not...
No, he's not... Trump's not even talking about them. He mentioned them twice. And the first time was at the Bill O'Reilly event he did here in South Florida at the Panthers Arena. And the second time was at the Bill O'Reilly event in Texas. I think it was the one in Houston. And that was over a year ago, and he hasn't mentioned them once. So when you say he's pushing this, no, he's not. That's not true.
Well, that's my mistake.
That's your first mistake.
I'm unvaccinated.
Well, who cares? I mean, who's even talking about that?
No, but I just want to share this with you. All my siblings and my in-laws got the jab, and they all got it terribly, terribly sick with illnesses they never had before.
Well, I don't know. Really? Oh, this is interesting. So you're a doctor and you've researched this and you know things. Before you give out medical information and advice, maybe you should go to medical school and do a residency and know what you're talking about. And in all of these, I don't give out medical advice. I send you to doctors, right? Dr. Appleton, Dr. Matez, but I don't give out medical advice. I'm not a doctor. The guy can't even use a telephone. He's giving out advice. The thing about the turning point, he said he's pushing the vaccine. Not one of the people that was interviewed that was bashing Trump at Turning Point USA said anything about that. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know that line in that article that said that Trump costed us the Senate, right? That's what that line said, right? It costed us the Senate. I disagree with that. That wasn't Trump that costed us the Senate. It was Mitch McConnell. There were certain places where he cut off the funding to people. Like Masters is one I can come up right offhand that he cut off the funding to. So when they say that Trump costed us the Senate, that's a lie.
Yeah, no, he didn't. The Republican Party lost as many seats in both houses as they possibly could. We know this. We've talked about this. And Mitch McConnell didn't give funding to a lot of people running for the Senate. Yeah, so we would have done better if they would have gotten involved. but we, yeah.
Dr. Pavone, because correct me if I'm wrong.
Father Pavone.
Father Pavone. Correct me if I'm wrong. There was a priest by the name of Flagger out of Chicago that spoke at Jeremiah Wright's church that basically echoed some of the same stuff that Jeremiah Wright said about GD America and all that stuff, right? And that's what they're saying that got the blasphemy that Father Pavone.
I don't know about I remember Father Flagger. He's a white guy who sounds black, and he's a priest. But I don't know if he's still officially with the Catholic Church or not.
He's still with the Catholic Church. He got accused of messing around with a boy.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know.
But if I'm right about this, he did say the same. He did say GD America at Father.
That was Jeremiah Wright said that. Flagger might have said it, but I remember hearing. Oh, did he? Oh.
He echoed him. So if he echoed him, if he said it, he echoed him, but he said it, and he didn't get kicked out of the priesthood for it.
Well, I'll have to look up. That guy. I remember all that. That's been so long. Obama. That was like 3 presidents ago. I can't even remember. But I'll tell you this. Okay, Father Frank Pavone did a couple things that were bad. Especially the blasphemy. But I've seen priests get in a lot more trouble and weren't defrocked, and were just moved around and transferred and things. And there's no doubt in my mind that because of his vocal Trump support, he's out. And I think the Pelosi's had something to do with it. He's been very vocal about Pelosi and others not receiving Holy Communion.
Yes, he has, and that's the thing. And they don't like to be told what to do. They're very hypocritical and hierarchical in terms of being told what to do to these Democrats. Oh, you can't have communion? Well,
yeah, that's right. All right, appreciate the call, Mike. Now, as I say, I don't give medical advice, but I send you to doctors who are experts in their field, and they'll give you medical advice, including the great Dr. Appleton. Oh, man, Dr. Appleton's amazing. He's changed my life. Rid me of my arthritis, rid me in my finger, rid me of my knee pain. And, it's like 61 degrees right now here at the radio station. It's going to be in the 30s on Christmas Eve. This cold weather is when you have pain, that's when it really flares up. And during this cold weather period that we're in right now, I would normally be in a lot of pain in my knee. Oh, man. None. 2 treatments with his laser away pain system, and my knee pain disappeared. It has not returned. It's been months. My arthritis pain in my finger, just 1 treatment, gone. It's not returned. This is a day made for arthritis flare-ups. None. 0. It's amazing. And I move in my finger and everything, and no pain. His laser away pain system, it works. It works. Stop suffering with pain. Go see Dr. Appleton. You've heard it works on pretty much any kind of pain you have. It's amazing. And when I first went over there for my first treatment, the next day I noticed relief from my knee pain. I went on a Thursday, and on Friday, the pain was, I had just a little bit, it was mostly gone. And then I went in on Saturday for my second treatment, the next day gone, and it is not returned. And it's made me a lot more active. I've gotten up on the roof. I made a YouTube video last week of the SpaceX launch. That would have been very difficult with my knee pain before. Boom, up and down the ladder like no one's business. It's just amazing. You can find Dr. Appleton online at appletonchiro.com. No appointment is necessary. He's open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. You might want to call and find out if they're open on Christmas Eve. I don't know about Christmas Eve, but appointments are not necessary, and walk-ins are welcome, because Dr. Appleton knows when you are in pain, you need help, you need relief, and you need it now. His number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Again, that's 954-973-0710. When you call, make sure you tell him you heard about him on the radio. It works, guys. I'm here to tell you. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our top of the hour break shortly, and then when we come back, I'll go back to the phones. There's a lot more to talk about as well. And you're welcome to call in about anything I brought up so far. Brought up some stuff that is still on the table all the way through 9 o'clock for you to call in about. But I have a few other topics I want to touch on too as the show goes on. Steve will be joining us today after his week of sickness / World Cup week and other things, and we'll go over some of these issues with Steve as well. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. If you're on hold, stand by, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You know, so far as Father Frank Pavone from Right Side Broadcasting being defrocked, when's the last time you've heard of that happening to an American priest? And what did they do? You know, I mean, the only time I've ever heard about it is when a priest has been arrested for molesting boys. Then I've heard of it happening. But short of that, I haven't heard. There have been priests that have left the priesthood, but I've not heard of this kind of discipline. And without question, it's his Trump support. They're trying to purge America of Trump supporters. All right, it's 7 a.m. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown.
Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Yes, yes, guys. Hey, what's up?
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1, Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach.
Yeah, my code didn't work to get in the door.
Yeah, he was just saying the same thing.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
they
okay.
changed that code. This one is the 0517 model.
Don't say.
This one should be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that one isn't.
I told you, you forget the cameras ago.
Always on.
Mm. 32 degrees. Yeah, it's going to be very cold. It's going to be in the 30s on Christmas Eve. Usually we have Christmas dinner on my back porch, but this year I think it's going to be too cold. So we're going to have to move it inside. Yeah, I don't have a fireplace though. I know, it's tough. Yeah, if it rained, we might get snow flurries if it rained. That'd be odd. It's not supposed to rain though.
Wasn't supposed to rain this weekend, it did.
Yeah.
Tried to cut the first section down so they're not coming in so late.
Oh, okay.
It's still pretty, you know.
-10. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. $24, my goodness. Okay. Never. Never. That's when. Freedom Soup. I mean, this story with the FBI. I'm going to bring that up when we get back before I take more calls. Oh, Lisa's on hold. I'm going to mention a couple things before I go to the calls, Lisa, so hang in there. Oh, it is huge. I did a whole podcast on the Twitter Files Part 6 over the weekend.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 85% water, right? 85% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big. If you want a better claim, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure concentrated.
Who's here?
Leah.
Oh, early.
That's what I was thinking too. It's like, who would be here? And all of them, I saw, I was like, oh.
Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods.
Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent. Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. If you're on hold, stand by. We've covered a lot, and there's a lot more going on. You know, it's cold here in South Florida today. It's in the 60s. It's going to get in the 70s. Supposed to be in the 30s on Christmas Eve. And you know what I like about the cold weather this time of year? You know what I really like about it? It kills the iguanas. Oh, my God. You know, we have Steve Kane is partly responsible for this because Steve was in the snakes and things. And this is many years ago. There was a fad of snake and iguana pets here in Florida. And Steve was doing spots for stores that sold iguanas and snakes. And the snakes and the iguanas are not native to Florida. And the snakes are awful. The pythons can kill alligators in the Everglades. I've seen it. You can go on YouTube and watch the videos. And alligators are no longer the top of the food chain, and the iguanas, sometimes iguanas get so big, sometimes there are gator sightings, but they're iguanas. And I have a lot in the lake by my house. There's nothing dumber than an iguana, though. They have no brains. They're stupid, and they're really stupid. But there was a guy, there's a lot of iguanas in my neighborhood. They're awful, and the freeze sometimes kills them, but a lot of times they just hibernate. And you'll hear people talk about they fall out of trees and everything. But I was driving home one day, and I was going by the road, by the lake in my development, and there was a guy who had captured a huge iguana, and he was holding it by the tail, and he was trying to, I guess he was going to, I don't know what he was going to do with it. I mean, these iguanas get to be like, I don't know, 6 feet. Some of them are huge. They're terrified of people. And he was holding onto the tail, fighting with the iguana, trying to get it in the back of his truck. I'd never seen any. I don't know how he got it, because sometimes I'm walking the dog, and I'll see iguanas ahead of me, and as soon as, no matter how big they are, they hear you coming, they jump in the water. But this guy somehow managed to grab one by the tail, but I hate the iguanas. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right, so let's get back to the issues. Now, a couple things here I want to mention before we go back to the calls. One of them with the Twitter Files. Twitter Files Part 6 came out over the weekend, and there were major bombshells that came out of it. And the biggest bombshell, and this is all new information, that when Trump won in 2016 and defeated Hillary Clinton, the FBI, no one knew, at least this was like classified information that we just found out about with the Twitter Files Part 6 over the weekend. And this would be Comey's doing, what I'm about to share with you. After President Trump won in 2016 and defeated Hillary Clinton, the FBI formed an 80-member unit, a special unit, whose only mission was to monitor Twitter and social media for Republican activity that they didn't like. And this is this special team of the FBI, 80 agents, that's all they did. And some of the names of people that they were trying to ban from Twitter have come out. One of them was Right Side Broadcasting, which Father Frank Pavone was, is a part of. One of them was Billy Baldwin, Alec Baldwin's brother, and a whole bunch of other conservatives too. And some of the people they were banning were they weren't famous, people that only had a handful of followers. And they were banning people from Twitter. The FBI would call them up and get people banned for telling jokes that were mild jokes. They didn't like them, and that's all they did all day. This 80-member team of the FBI, and it was, and what the Twitter files revealed is that it was formed right after Trump won in 2016. I was a little unclear if they formed it when Obama was still president and Trump was president-elect, or after Trump took the oath of office. I was a little unclear about that. The activity, a lot of it was after, but I'm just wondering, did Obama sign off on that? And I'm also curious, there was a lot of other information we didn't get either. Was President Trump aware of this 80-member unit at any point during his presidency? I mean, that's bizarre, isn't it? I mean, you know, an 80-person task force, that's the kind of thing you would put together if, you know, you put together a team of the FBI that was trying to track down one of the FBI's 10 most wanted. Like if Hannibal Lecter was a real guy and you thought you could get Hannibal Lecter, or, you know, when bin Laden was on the list, you'd put together a team of 80 FBI agents whose sole focus was to find Hannibal Lecter if he were real, or bin Laden, you know, when he was on the list, or someone else, or you know, I'd like to know how large was the FBI unit that was looking for the Unabomber, or the FBI unit that was dedicated after the Oklahoma City bombing. I don't know how. I know there was lots of law enforcement involved in those incidents, but this 80-member task force just monitoring MAGA people on Twitter that Comey put together probably is a larger, and those are just FBI agents, okay? Because a lot of these other things, you have other agencies involved, ATF and things like this. I'm talking about just FBI agents. And I'd like to, I did some looking into this, and I couldn't find a clear answer. I'd like to know with the Unabomber, bin Laden, and other people, like serial killers and things like this of the past, how many FBI agents were in a unit dedicated just to them at any given time? And I bet you that this MAGA task force of the FBI assigned to Twitter is larger than a lot of them. Probably not all of them, but larger than a lot of them. It's pretty scary. Pretty scary. And that is a huge bombshell that I haven't heard mentioned on any of the mainstream news, including Fox News Channel. It's like it didn't happen. Did anyone talk about this on Fox News, the 80-member task force? Where are the reporters calling for the FBI director to be called out on the carpet? Now, when the Republicans take over next month in the House of Representatives, there's going to be massive hearings about this. And out of everything that has come out of the task force, or the Twitter files, we've had 6 parts of them now. Out of everything that has come out of the Twitter files, this is the biggest bombshell. I thought we had the biggest bombshells before, but we got even bigger ones with this FBI 80-member task force dedicated to only that. That's insane. All right. There's only one opening on our very busy board of calls. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CADE-1. And by the way, thanks, guys. You know, most guys that do call-in radio shows are on vacation this week because it's, you know, it's a holiday week, and they're lazy. Right? And they figure, well, you know, people are on holiday head. It'll be hard. I don't want to do it. It's hard. You know, well, that's the way it is. There's too much going on. We're going to be here live all this week, all next week, all the way through our cruise, okay? Even if we weren't doing the cruise, we'd be live this week and next week, by the way. Okay, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Come on, Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
Okay, you know, interesting. I had one of the liberals text to me, have you decided to leave President Trump now for DeSantis because he's so far ahead?
Does anybody believe this story?
So I went back, I said, you know, listen, you only listen to fake news. Trump is way ahead of DeSantis. DeSantis is great. We'd love him to be the next president after President Trump. But we're not leaving President Trump.
Okay, you know, I'm going to, you know, listen, Doug, I know you get upset with me when I call you out on these things, but I'm going to call BS on that story. Just like that when you paid for the groceries at the grocery store lady story or something a while back. A liberal texted you and said, are you going to vote for Trump or DeSantis? I mean, come on, that just sounds strange.
I have, these guys I've been playing Powerball for years. We go back and forth every day, matter of fact. with text. If you want, I'll include you in the text. But
No, I don't want these people to have my number.
okay, so that's
I'll tell you what. I want to tell you what. I'll tell you what. Okay. I'm not calling you a liar totally yet. Okay. Take a screenshot of the text and send it to me right now.
how do I do that?
Oh my! How do I do that? Oh my! When you figure it out, call back. Oh my goodness! Somehow Doug has my phone number. I don't know how. I had my number changed a couple years ago because Liberal Al the John had it, and I got like 2,000 calls one weekend, and somehow Doug has it. So Doug, take a screenshot of that text, okay, with the date and time, and send it to me, and I'll retract what I said and say that it's a strange story, but it's true, and I apologize for calling BS on that story. I'll do that. So take the screenshot and text it to me right now. And I want to be able to see the date and the time because I want to make sure it's not like after we talked. All right. Okay, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian.
Yes.
Augustino.
Hey, Augustino.
How am I going to be the punchline, you little arrogant piss man?
What did you say? Am I supposed to dump that? What did he say? I don't know. Wait, hold on. Let me put you on hold because I just hit the dump button. I got to wait for the delay to build back up. I couldn't understand what you said. So I did a pre-active dump, which I don't normally do because I couldn't make out what you said. But you're attacking me, so just stand by. I'm gonna go back to you because he's got something to get off his chest. And I did actually get a DM from a listener about Augustino over the weekend. They said on his call Friday, it sounded like he had fallen in the moonshine barrel, someone said. Okay, is the delay built back up? Okay, go ahead. All right, Augustino.
Keep making fun of me, the peas. I'm a loyal listener. You don't treat me the right way.
You're a loyal listener, and what have I done you wrong?
You keep making fun of the calls I made.
What? That's not fair. What am I doing to you that's not fair? Is this really Augustino?
You are arrogant and you're nasty.
I'm nasty and arrogant. And a midget. And a midget.
Man, if I had any dinner and a regular jacket.
Okay.
And you keep making fun of me, I'll make you special.
Okay, now we're getting to another area, okay, which we're not going to get into. Oh my goodness. Could you imagine what Elon Musk is going through with what he's doing on Twitter when I got to deal this stuff? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I hope that wasn't really Augie. I don't think that was Augustino. I really don't think that was Augustino. I think that was someone pretending to be Augustino. I don't know. What do you guys, did that sound like the real Augie to you guys? It could be. He's been pretty upset. All right, our number 888-GO-KANE-1. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa in Texas.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, listen, you know, these people that are turning on Trump, who were Trump followers, is something you had mentioned before was the fact that MAGA isn't super organized, and that had something to do with why some of the people didn't make it in that Trump was supporting, besides the fact that Mitch McConnell's not supporting them. But, you know, let's face it, Trump has tenacity that many of us don't have. This guy is like a brick wall. I mean, he has taken so much abuse for so long and not given up because his love for America is so strong. And that's what I still see in him. That's why I'm still going to vote for him. I'm not going to turn on him. But most people don't have that ability to stick in there. You know.
Well, they're promoting. You know what? They're promoting this other thing too on Fox News and other places. Trump fatigue. They're trying to say people are tired of Trump. They've got 3 talking points right now. They got this poll where DeSantis was ahead. I don't even know what that's about. 2, he's polarizing like no one else is polarized. Only Trump's a polarizing guy running for president. And 3, Trump fatigue. Those are the 3 things they got.
Right, and they're trying to brainwash people with those points. But, I mean, when you still look at any of his rallies that he was having, he's still got tens of thousands of people and supporters. You know, these people are so scared of Trump. Why are they so scared of Trump? You know?
Yeah.
Because he gets things done.
You know, this... Well, listen, they're so panicked about him in the establishment. We found out over the weekend that after he... think about this. After he won in 2016... the FBI formed an 80-person, 80-agent task force just to monitor MAGA activity on Twitter. That's insane and frightening. And I'm trying to find out if anybody knows, was that when Trump was president-elect and Obama signed off on that, or was it after he was president? If it was after he took the oath of office, there may be treason involved in that.
Correct. Yes, I concur. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That treasonous actions. Now, how long after he was president did he fire Comey? How long did that take? I forget.
It was months. It wasn't right away, but this was done before. We know what they said in the Twitter files is that the task force was set up after he won. It didn't say whether or not it was before or after the inauguration. Now, if it was before the inauguration, Obama was still president, and his people could have signed off on it, you know, and that would be different. It would still be wrong in every way, but if they did it after the inauguration, that's when you could get into the treason category. By the way, did you know if do you think that last caller was really Agostino? Do you know?
I couldn't tell. He definitely sounded like he was in the moonshine barrel.
That's true, and he did sound a little bit like Agostino at the end, but he sounded a little too young to be Agostino. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, whoever he was, bless his little heart, he was upset.
Yeah. That's the last thing you want to do on the radio is upset people. That's the last thing we want to do, right? Of course. Hey, all right.
I appreciate the time.
All right, take care. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines.
They just texted me and said they couldn't hear the callers, Steve. So that's why I turned the OL on here. I was wondering, are the callers going through the TOC mix?
Maybe. Yeah, coming from could be.
But I don't, they text me, and then I do something, and then I don't hear back from them in time to know.
Sure, yeah.
You know, so I'm trying to find... Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
That sounded. It sounded like him, but he sounded rejuvenated.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell.
I heard peasant.
Yeah.
First one, so I was like, peasant? What? He's really upset about the peas.
Yeah.
Like, we're still on about that? The peas, really?
You can't just turn the show over to lunatics, you know. I mean, you know.
Message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Elder Affairs, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Soon, it will be time to make important decisions about your Medicare prescription drug coverage. Shine counselors provide free, unbiased help in selecting a Medicare Part D or Advantage plan. If you have questions, Shine can guide you through the enrollment period ending December 7th. For more information or to
Yeah, Lisa sounded great.
1-800-955-6600.
Sounded better than the real or fake Augie. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Callers on hold, stand by. You know, hey, Christmas is this week. New Year's is right around the corner. Valentine's, oh, man, that's coming up. You want to look great for all of these days, don't you? Go over to Forever Youth. You know, any lab test now of Boca has expanded right next door to Forever Youth, and they have everything you need to look young and better than you did years ago. They have all the Botox and Juvederm and fillers to get rid of those lines and wrinkles. They have all kinds of, they have everything, right? Chemical peels to make your skin look younger and youthful. But the thing they have that is absolutely amazing is their Cool Sculpting Elite, which is FDA approved. By the way, 20% off these things if you mention you heard about them on the radio. And what Cool Sculpting Elite does is everything liposuction does without that invasive procedure. It permanently freezes away your fat cells. You know, your body only has a certain number of fat cells. When they're gone, they're gone. So the Cool Sculpting Elite freezes away the fat cells. It's completely non-invasive, and then they sculpt the body to look the way you want it to look. There's zero downtime, and again, non-invasive. And it works on all areas of your body where you have fat. Of course, the stomach, gut area, the love handles, your back, the back of your arms, the neck. You got fat on your neck or multiple chins, like Mitch McConnell. It works on all areas of body fat. It's absolutely amazing. Steve's daughter, one of his daughters, had this procedure done. They were raving about it. They had children, and they had it done because of that. Look great, all right? Look great. It's Christmas. You're going to see people in the next few weeks that you may never see again or you haven't seen in years. You want to look your best. Give them a call, 561-717-8081. Forever Youth is right next door to any lab test now of Boca, which is in the plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road, north of Hillsboro, on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Give them a call, 561-717-8081. 561-717-8081. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio for 20% off. All right. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Talking to me?
Sounds like you.
Oh, I didn't hear anything from your supporting cast in the back. Anyway, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. How are you? What's your name?
My name is Jerry. I'm originally from Montreal, Canada. Came here in '78. Loved Florida. Loved it. Stayed for 43 years.
Great.
So I consider myself a Floridian.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I ran a big upholstery shop many years ago, just retired, and I did Trump's International down in North Miami Beach.
Oh, the Doral.
Everybody told. No, I did Doral also, but I didn't do his Trump International.
Oh, okay.
College. And everybody told me, don't trust him. He ain't gonna pay you. He's a piker and this and that. I said, you know what? I had a gut feeling. No. I redid the whole hotel, redoing couches and chairs and some of the shears in the hotel and all that. And it came up to $165,000. On the last payment, he owed me $56,000. It was a Friday morning. I went down there, and I said to the girl, I said, Dominic, and she knew me very well. She said, oh, you know what? Carol's not here. She's gone for 2 weeks. She didn't sign the check. I said, what are you talking about? I got to pay my people. She said, hold on. She said, you're lucky. Mr. Trump's in the back. He didn't come out. He signed the check. I had no problem. My wife was so she was like, oh my God, we got a check signed by Trump. I still have the check. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have a check signed by Donald Trump, who is now, I still agree, the president of the
So you got a check for $56,000 signed by Trump that you didn't cash?
But I went to the bank and I got it back.
Oh, you got it back. Okay, so that check is actually pretty valuable, probably.
Yes, it is. And I also him a letter stating the fact. I never received anything back, but I know he's a busy man. I'm just a little ant in his anthill, so to speak.
Wow. Yeah, you should frame that check and put it up on the wall if you haven't already done it.
We have it put away. My wife put it away. But the thing is, that doesn't impress me. I'm a man of God. That's my boss. That's who controls everything, my friend. Okay?
Yeah. I'm late for the break. I lost track.
Jewish,
Okay.
but
I'll take it
I
after the call.
accepted Yeshua, if you know that.
That's great. That's great.
Jewish people.
Well, no, the Jesus and the apostles were all Jews too, and I think that Jesus believed in himself. So there you go. Hey, listen, great story. Thanks for the call. I got to run for a break, which we're late for. I lost track. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour and be right back.
Radio great again.
I didn't want to interrupt you because
I just lost track.
You only had like a 3-minute.
Because I took the other one late. Yeah.
So that's why I didn't want to stop you.
Yeah. Now Steve says he can hear the callers, but the volume's low. But I don't know what to do about that.
We're at the max.
60s and 70s coming up this morning.
Unless his stuff's maybe low. I don't know. That is something we can figure out. This show's going by fast.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, great story. I thought he was going to tell us he didn't pay him the $56,000. Didn't you guys? I thought for sure that's what he was going to tell us. I don't know what a Trump autograph goes for. I've got a bunch of Trump autographs. The main one I want that I haven't gotten is an autographed MAGA hat. If I had an autographed MAGA hat, it'd go in the safe deposit box. One of the cashiers at the Publix I shop at, she's got an autographed MAGA hat. She met Trump at Air Force One here one day. Right there, she got there, and he signed her hat. Steve Kane Show. Oh, yeah, man.
This is Lori Kane. When people go to the dentist, they think of the pain, but the biggest pain is the cost. Not with Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care.
Have you guys, I'm going to play this coming back. Have you guys heard the body cam scream from Idaho? Steve's feeling better. He was pretty sick last week. What, you know. He's going to join us at 8. I heard it. I can hear it. Now, I don't know if you'll hear it over the speakers here when I play it, but I'm going to play it over the radio. And I didn't hear it when I first listened. We did a Patreon podcast episode last night, Kathy and I. We were playing it then. I didn't hear it, but then I found a new audio clip from Inside Edition, which I'm going to play, and you can hear it in the background. I don't know what the significance of the scream is. Does it narrow down the time? Yeah, I have the audio. I'm going to play it here in a minute. Well, let's see how long. I'll play it for you guys here. Hold on, let me turn it up. Let's see. Let me put it up here.
Was a scream caught on police body cam video the night the 4 University of Idaho students were murdered?
There it is.
Hear anything? Is it a scream? Is it a screech of tires or something else? The timestamp on the
Did you hear that? Go back.
Was a scream caught on police body cam video the night the 4 University of Idaho students were murdered? Hear anything? Is it a scream? Is it a screech of tires or something else? The timestamp on the body cam video reads 3:12 a.m. around the...
Okay, I think it's a scream. I can hear it. I don't think it's tires. Sounds like a bird at night, in the dark at 3 a.m. I don't think so. I'll play it on the air when we get back. Now I can hear it.
Dean thinks it might be something with the Comrex that's causing the volume for the callers to be low for Steve.
Yeah.
Like if it's maxed out like that, it's like...
Yeah, I got it almost all the way up. Well, some of the callers, their phone connections aren't the best and are low, but I just count on the processing to fix it on the air, so I don't worry about it too much. But
it sounds fine on there, like you said, unless they're having a problem, which is happens. I don't know what's going with Steve.
Offer blessings to all who listen in the name of our Lord and Savior. Moments of Scripture every Sunday at 6 a.m.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 45 years on the air.
all right, welcome back, everyone. Callers on hold, stand by. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. Okay, have you guys heard the scream from the Idaho killings? Now, this video, I'm going to play this for you in a minute. And what had happened, if you haven't heard about this clip I have is from Inside Edition. If you haven't heard about this, there's some young kids who are underage that are stopped by the police for drinking. And they're not far from the house, but they're not at the house. They're down the street. And there's some audio caught on the police officer's body cam. Some people cannot hear anything. Some people hear it and think it sounds like tires. I think it sounds like a scream. So I'm going to play it for you, and you let me know what you think. This is, everyone's talking about this with the Idaho case. And we got some new information. It looks like the one girl is the target, the one that they show with the bikinis all the time on Fox News. I mean, come on, get some class, Fox News, okay? The girl's dead. And they keep showing pictures. There's pictures on her Instagram that are not in bikinis, I'm sure, that they could show, but they keep showing that. But someone came out over the weekend that the bikini girl, which I think her name is Kaylee, is that Kaylee? That she had a stalker. And they interviewed a guy from a vape shop who said that she came into the vape shop with her friends regularly, and she would walk with a, you know how girls travel in packs all the time? She would walk with a pack of girls and have some of her friends behind her because she was afraid of this unknown stalker. And this guy from the vape shop was talking about this over the weekend. But also the scream video came out. And I can clearly hear the noise. It does sound like a scream. And if it is a scream, it's the scream of one of the girls being murdered is what people believe. So I'm going to play it for you now. And it's a little eerie. And again, this was caught, this is from Inside Edition. It was captured on a police body camera. He was interviewing these guys who were drinking, they're underage, and it's in the distance, okay?
University of Idaho students were murdered. Hear anything? Is it a scream? Is it a screech of tires or something else? The timestamp on the body cam video reads 3:12 a.m. around the time of the murders.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to hear because it's in the body cam, they're far away, but you can hear it and it's like, ee! And it does not sound like tires screeching to me. It's really sad. I know. It is a sad thing that happened. I can't believe that these clown cops have no suspects after all this time. You know, a lot of people are saying that it has to be multiple people. It couldn't be just one guy. That's not true. Ted Bundy at Florida State went into the sorority house alone and did a lot of killing. Remember all those girls he killed in the sorority house? The Gainesville killer, Danny Rawlings, was alone, and while I don't remember all the details of the Gainesville killing, oh boy, that was a scary time. You guys remember that? Oh boy. But one of the houses that Danny Rawlings, the Gainesville killer, went into, not only did he kill multiple people in the house, in the apartment, but one of them was a guy. So he killed a guy and girls in one of the apartments, and he was all alone. So, you know, it is very, very possible. And, there's this new footage of the girls at the food truck. Have you seen this? Not long before the killings. It's really creepy to watch. But I did watch it over the weekend, and they didn't seem drunk to me, at least not falling down drunk. Because my first thought was, how did this happen in the house on multiple floors and all this stuff? So, and everything, and no one wake up and everything. And I just thought everyone was like so drunk they went home and passed out. Nothing like that's ever happened to me, of course, except on our cruises. But they did not look falling down drunk. And if this girl had a stalker like this guy from the vape shop is saying, it shouldn't be that difficult to narrow that down. Unfortunately, her best friend was killed with her, who she would have confided all the details of. But I mean, if she had a stalker, there's got to be cameras everywhere, and they would pick this guy up on somewhere, and hopefully she would have told someone other than her best friend that was murdered. But I'll play this again. I can clearly hear the scream.
Was a scream caught on police body cam video the night the 4 University of Idaho students were murdered? Hear anything? Is it a scream? Is it a screech of tires or something else? The timestamp on the body cam video reads 3:12 a.m. around the time of the murders.
Now a lot of people hear nothing. In fact, the first audio I pulled up, I heard nothing, and I listened to it several times. And the Inside Edition audio, what I did with that is I potted up the volume where the part in question was. So I made it louder, and I made it as loud as I could without it distorting, and you can clearly hear it. But why haven't they found this guy yet, or men? I don't know, but I do know this, that most of the new evidence that has come out from like internet. They're calling them internet sleuths, and I was not aware of this. True crime is pretty hot right now. There are tons of online internet detectives that put together things. And I was watching another case. There was this was from a few years ago, and I saw this online over the weekend, and it fit into this. This guy, he was like 23, 24 years old. He went out to Quiznos to get a sub for his girlfriend, and they never saw him again. And and this was up in the Detroit area. I can't remember the guy's name, but I saw this story over the weekend, and this was crazy. So his family, of course, went to the police, who would do nothing for 24 hours, and then they still would do nothing, and because he was 20-something years old and everything. And there was a bank robbery in the area that was pretty high profile, and then the parents, not the police, the parents went online and looked at his debit card activity and found out that he had made 3 ATM withdrawals about 30 minutes from the house at a gas station ATM machine. They told the police, and they did nothing. And the father of the guy and a friend of his went to the gas station and asked the gas station attendant to show that the police didn't do this. The father did with a friend. They go to the gas station where the ATM withdrawals, and remember, the police didn't even find the ATM withdrawals. The mother did. She went on her son's bank account online, or I don't know how she did it, but she found these withdrawals, so they went there. And the guy at the gas station showed the father and his friend the surveillance footage of the time the withdrawals were made, and it wasn't their son. It was this other guy who the father and the friend recognized, because there was this guy that robbed a bank that was in the news also, and they had footage from inside the bank. The bank robber had kidnapped their son, and they found out about it, and the father and son started searching the houses in the neighborhood. It was a rundown area near Detroit. But the parents actually solved the entire crime. He was murdered. He was robbed and murdered. It was a tragedy. But the police didn't get any evidence. The parents did everything. You really cannot depend on, I know we got police in the audience. I'm sorry, guys. You cannot depend on the police. You know, it's like anything else. They work for the government. And people that work for the government, you know, it attracts incompetence because, you know, there's no accountability in government. And a lot of times, you know, these amateurs find out things. And in this case in Idaho, I thought it was pretty disgusting. The other day, the police came out and said they would charge criminally the internet sleuths. Did you hear this? They went and had like a press conference and said that they'll arrest people and charge them for obstruction. And it was the internet sleuths that found the body cam audio I just shared with you, not the police. And the internet sleuths also found that white car that is now, they're looking out for, that drove by at the time. All the information that has come out from this case in Idaho has come out not from the police, but from regular people. And the body camera footage, as well as that footage of the car, was found through public access of information, because you get body cam footage and things like this. And I think it's a sad story, but it's a textbook example of incompetence with government workers. And they don't even realize it because they don't know any other way other than that. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll take a break and be right back.
Hard truth.
Remember the Gabby Petito case?
Yeah.
It's just like that. A lot of, especially on TikTok, a lot of people were
That's right.
sending their things down going,
yeah.
People were in the same area, found the car, they sent to the police.
That's right, they did. They did find the car. You're right, I forgot about that. Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I forgot about that. And the police let her go when they stopped her with the guy, and it looked like he had just beat the crap out of her.
And it looked like she did the universal sign for help, and people were pointing that
Yeah,
out.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I'll bring that up when we get back. Steve Kane Show. Hey, Sam, hold on.
It's insane how the internet works. Like, if people can, they will.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire in Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road, because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
Mm-hmm.
Take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. If you're on hold, stand by. You know, Christmas is Sunday. There is still time to order and get your gifts in time from MyPillow.com. Huge savings with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can have there's time to get them delivered to you, but you can also have whatever you buy them delivered right to the recipient. They'll still love it. I promise you it'll be a great surprise for them. And there's huge specials. Go right now to MyPillow.com. Click on the Christmas specials. The MyPillow sheets, $29.98. Oh, man, my wife and I, we're putting the flannels on this week. It's going to be in the 30s this weekend. But we have 6 sets, 4 regular, 2 flannel, just $29.98. All colors are available. The 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, available in all mattress sizes, 50% off. There's a whole, with the promo code Kane, there's a whole bunch of blankets and comforters at MyPillow.com that you can take advantage of with our promo code Kane. They have down comforters, regular blankets, huge savings. The Giza Elegance pillow, just $24.98 with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, normally $69.98. The MyPillow slippers, $90 off, less than $50. They have a whole bunch of new colors and sizes in, and they have smaller sizes available as well as larger sizes and wide sizes that they didn't have before. So, and many new colors that you can check out. There's just so many savings there at MyPillow.com. Everything makes a great Christmas gift. And my wife and I, we do a lot of our Christmas shopping at MyPillow. And it's a gift that will not be regifted, and it's a gift that the recipient will tell you about every time you see them for years to come, because that's been my experience. Now, you can take advantage of all the specials at MyPillow.com with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. Not just the ones I talk about, but all of them with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Ron, Lake Worth.
Hey, Juan.
Ron, not Juan. You just made me Spanish.
Oh, what is your name?
Ron, R-O-N.
Oh, Ron. Ron. It sounded like Juan until you spelled it. Sorry. Don't want to accuse you of being a Latino. Oh, my gosh. Gee whiz. What are you, racist or something? No, go ahead, Ron.
Retired deputy sheriff. 38
Oh.
years with the sheriff's department.
Okay.
You're correct. That is an incompetent police department in Idaho. Here's the problem. When I worked for the sheriff's department, we had probably the best homicide investigators in the country. Why? Because they investigated hundreds of homicides. They travel all over the country, sometimes all over the world. Here's the problem. In Idaho, they had 1 homicide in 7 years. So that tells me that they don't have homicide investigators. What they do is they get a guy who handles burglaries and thefts and says, oh, by the way, if we get a homicide, you're going to handle it. No experience.
No. But I've heard, I thought they brought in the FBI, I've been told.
Well, they did because later, well, the FBI never comes in on homicides unless there was too much of an outcry, and that's what happened nationally. Okay? So what they should have done was, since they're a podunk police department, what the sheriff's department does, the small cities contract the sheriff's department. So, hey, we don't get homicides. We get one every 10 years. If we get one, we want you guys to handle it because you're the pros. And that's how they need to go to the closest city and go get a contract with the big police department and have them come in and meet.
Well, I'll tell you, Ron, who wants to make sure that you don't think he's Juan, but Ron here, Officer Ron on the line. We were talking during the break about Gabby Petito, the van life girl. The cops got her killed. They pulled her over with her scummy murdering boyfriend out west. She obviously was traumatized, looked like she was battered by this guy. They let her go. They should have kept her. They didn't. They got her killed. And that case was also solved by locals here in Florida that found pretty much all the evidence that led to finding the body of that scummy guy. So yeah, I know you're a retired cop, 38 years, and but most people that work for the government are incompetent. That's why they work for the government.
Yeah, a lot of these cops who get themselves in trouble, they go from one police department to the next, and they just, there's a lot of bad apples in police departments, I've seen a lot of cops get arrested when I was a cop. But there's bad lawyers, there's bad doctors, there's bad in everything, but most of the cops are good. Okay.
Yeah.
Done police departments, Mickey Mouse, and they messed up that scene. And the problem is, when they messed it up, the crime scene could be destroyed. And that, I guarantee, when they saw all those bodies, there were people all over the place walking through that crime scene.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's got to be discussed. You know, I imagine though in these cases, I mean, these guys, if they're cops, they watch CSI. If you watch CSI and Law and Order, you know enough on how not to disturb a crime scene. I mean, you'd have to be a real moron to go walk through. Now, I understand you got to go in and make sure there's no one left alive. I get that. But, you know, you watch crime shows, which I'm sure a lot of these cops do. They got to know how not to disturb a crime scene. Come on.
You don't know how Mickey Mouse, you talk about Idaho in the middle of nowhere, you know, the police department, one homicide in 7 years, and who knows what happened.
You know, I remember years ago. By the way, thanks for the call. Good information, Ron, who's not Juan. Okay. This is true, what I'm about to tell you, and I'll let you try to figure this out. You know, the NAACP and black activists were trying to get Idaho to change the name of the state years ago. Do you guys remember this? Because they said it was racist. Idaho. I'm not kidding. You can figure that out. I'm not going to explain it to you if you don't get it, and it's not a joke. It's true. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Sandra from Boca.
Hey, all right, Sandra. What's up?
The thing that sticks out to me more about this case than anything, and I think you're going to remember this, that do you think it was targeted? Let me ask you that first.
It's hard to say. I mean, if it's true that the bikini girl, I think that's Kaylee, had a stalker. Yeah.
Well, what sticks out to me in my mind about this case, and I think you're going to remember this yourself because you were in Florida at the time, there was the University of Gainesville murders. Do you remember that?
Well, I was talking about that earlier. Danny Rawlings, the Gainesville killer, yeah.
Yes, it's just that the pattern in which that killer killed those students was from apartment to apartment. So he was just on a spree. Now, this particular house had two girls on the first floor that were not even touched. So in my opinion, I believe that this person knew the layout of the house. And how did they get in anyway?
I don't know. Yeah.
That you need a code to get in?
Well, it came out, what I was talking about earlier, it came out over the weekend. This guy that works in a vape shop said that these girls came into the vape shop all the time, and that the bikini girl was talking to him about a stalker, and she would travel with a group of friends and have some of her friends walk behind her because of a stalker. Now, unfortunately, her best friend, who probably would know who the stalker was murdered too, but I imagine she had to tell other people about a stalker. There has to be something that, you know, could lead them to who that is. And I'll tell you one thing too. It was very weird early on how the mother was just praising the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend. I thought that they just dismissed the ex-boy. The first person you go to is the guy who's been broken up with. And I promise you, looking at that girl, that guy did not break up with her. She broke up with him. And come on, no guy would break up with her. What guy broke up with her in Idaho? Give me a break.
Is it wasn't Kaylee's room. See, the girls were sleeping together.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't Kaylee's room. It was Madison's room.
Well, girls do that all the time. I wouldn't. Are you saying something lesbian going on? I doubt that. Oh.
Totally not implicated at all. But what I'm saying is that if he wanted to target that specific girl, and it was Kaylee, how did he know?
Well, you know, I remember the Gainesville incident very well. Okay, Bundy was before my time at Florida State. I mean, he was on death row and everything, but when he actually did the killings. But both Bundy and Danny Rawlings killed multiple people. You know, there were multiple girls killed at the sorority house in Gainesville by Bundy. Danny Rawlings killed multiple people in the same apartments, including one that had the one where he cut the head off and had the head facing towards the door for the cops to be looking at when they came in. That was the one that had multiple people in the apartment, including a guy. So, so it can be done with one guy, because sadly we have these other stories, But when the Gainesville killing was going on, it was a much different thing. I remember all my friends that were at the University of Florida came home. The whole place was a ghost town. And they had other suspects. Yeah, they arrested another guy who was arrested for elder abuse on his grandmother. And they thought he was the guy for a while. They had other, so they had other suspects. There was a lot going on. The media was camped out there. Look what Fox News is. They've sent Lawrence Jones up. What the hell does Lawrence Jones know? About this. Why don't they have like Mark Furman up there covering this? The media coverage is third and fourth hand. And I haven't heard much about the university being evacuated. I haven't heard anything about it. All I've heard of the police threaten people who were giving tips and uncovering evidence.
That's crazy because we've now emerged throughout the last 25, 30 years with new technologies on how to solve these cases quicker.
Everything that's come out has been from regular people. Hey, listen, I got to run for the break, but thanks for the call. Great call. Callers on hold, stand by. Great callers today, I must say. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Don't touch that dial. We'll be back right after our top of the hour break.
Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the
Steve Kane Show. Did they look drunk at the food truck? Did they look that kind of drunk? I mean, they didn't look like they were staggering. Great caller, yeah. We've had very good callers this morning, no doubt. There's a difference between being drunk and passed out level drunk. You know what I mean? Oh, was she? I missed that.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News update. ABC News now. ABC has learned the January 6th committee is expected to recommend criminal charges for former President Trump during its 11th and final public hearing today. ABC's Andrew Dipper has more. The committee arguing that Trump lied, saying the 2020 election was stolen even though his own administration said it was fair. Criminal referrals from the committee are expected to be accompanied by evidence justifying the recommendation, but the Department of Justice, which has been conducting their own investigation into the events of January 6th, not obligated to act on such referrals. Another Twitter shift. New owner Elon Musk on Twitter launched the poll asking users whether he should remain in charge. At least 11 people were seriously hurt after a Hawaiian Airlines flight from Phoenix to Honolulu experienced severe turbulence Sunday. About 20 people were taken to hospitals. All are expected to recover. 5 people were killed in a mass shooting in a suburb of Ontario.
Good, yeah.
We got more table room too now.
Yeah, I think they sound better up there. Yeah.
Yeah, those are brand new. Those aren't the ones.
I didn't think so, yeah.
Brand new. Yeah, they put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, well, I went to put the keyboard on top of the speaker, and it was like, what happened?
Every day you come in, something new.
New Year's Eve, the biggest night of the year. Many of us have been celebrating for decades, but never like this.
It has. I know. Less than an hour to go, Wookiees.
To the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Big announcement from EET, our fence and gate repair experts, and this is pretty awesome deal. You want to take advantage of this. Listen to this. EET, which of course repaired Steve's fence, repaired Steve's gates, are offering free gate hardware for all of your gates with gate installation or gate repair. But you got to mention you heard about them on the radio. And let me tell you, I've been telling you guys, I know a lot of you know this because you've been through it. These fencing companies, they don't do repairs on fences. They don't do repairs on gates. You call them. Oh, no, we just install new fences. We just install new gates. Yeah, but I just have this one area. No, we don't do. No, we don't. Yeah, but there's just this one. We don't do it. We don't do it. And, you know, it's a racket they got running, let's be honest. And most of the time, you don't need a whole new fence. And you don't need a whole new gate. You just need a simple repair. And EET, they are there for you. They cover the entire listening area of all of our radio stations. They're family-owned and operated, have over 20 years of experience. They're licensed and insured. They work on all types of fencing and gating, gate materials too. Wood, chain link, PVC, iron, aluminum. They do both residential and commercial properties, and they'll beat any competitor's pricing. You hear that? They will beat any competitor's pricing, and there's no minimum charge like the other companies. No job is too small. But you know what? No job's too big either, right? They do huge, if you got one of those huge gates at your business or HOA, they can help you with that. Or those huge fences around your community, they can help you with that for both repairs and replacement or new fencing. They do fence and gate repairs, but they'll, you know, if you need a new gate, if you need a new fence, of course they'll do that too. Give them a call. Here's the number. 561-255-1170. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. 561-255-1170. 561-255-1170. All right. Back from World Cup or Sick Week, Steve joining us. Hey, Steve.
How about the Argentine soccer team?
Oh, you must have won the bet.
Why would you say that?
Because you're in a good mood about soccer, about the World Cup.
My voice.
Yeah.
But more important, Leo Messi got his first win in a World Cup, and there are a lot of reasons to celebrate yesterday. Listen, I have an idea since you set the tone for our Christmas show here. I hope everybody out there is enjoying the review of all the murders in South Florida that we're doing.
No, Idaho.
Danny Rawlings?
Oh, no. Yeah, that's true.
We had a murder. I don't want to overstate this. I'll tell you what I know, what I don't know. We had an incident yesterday. I'll describe it that way. Hopefully we'll get more information because this is going to be audience participation thing. major crime incident yesterday in Cooper City, the place where you never find any crime at all, but yesterday it was there, and it was what I know is it was a shooting. I don't know. There are mixed reports on whether it was a fatal shooting. It was as a result of a robbery. It occurred around midday, late morning or midday, right opposite Cooper City High, if anybody out there knows about it. And the police helicopters were zooming around Cooper City all day yesterday. I came in, it's about 7 o'clock at night, we went to see a movie, and the helicopters were still there at 7 o'clock at night. I have not read, are they still printing the Sun Sentinel, Brian?
You know what? I haven't read the Sun Sentinel in years. I don't know.
I think it's a 2-page, or the news section of it is about 3 pages. But if anybody out there knows about this, because it was a local crime, shooting, not sure if it's fatal, course of a robbery, 11 o'clock yesterday morning, or around midday in that time slot. If you heard anything about it or know anything about it, give us a call. What's the number there, Brian?
Well, it's your name. 888-GO-CANE-1. 888-GO-CANE-1. 888. That's right. Yeah. Well, listen, if you're on hold, stand by. Our number is 888-465-2631, and we've had some really good calls today, I must say, except that one caller. But other than that one caller, we've had great calls today. So hopefully we can keep that going. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's James from Plantation. How you doing?
All right, James.
Okay, I just want to, your segue with EET fencing is great because there's something you need to put into your commercials. I'm a licensed contractor for concrete, and I had to pull a fence and a gate down for a client to do a pool deck. We finished the pool deck. I was worried about getting that thing up for Christmas. I had no time to go back. I called your guys. They called me right away. They went to my client, knocked on the door, met them, and very happy. They put the gate and fence up while I was all the way up in Palm Beach working, sent me pictures, fixed it. My client was happy, and then what I did was I used a credit card over the phone, paid for it, done.
Wow.
You know, all you contractors out there, they're just great. They're very nice, and my client gave them her whole property to do.
Wow.
That's how happy she was with their work.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, yeah, that's EET fencing. I was so happy that you came up with that because I had no idea how I was going to get that done. You can't get a handyman to do work like that. Only people that know what they're doing, and I just wanted to thank you for doing that.
Well, just to everybody out there in the audience, you just heard the new commercial for EET, which you're going to be in the. You're going to be in the. You know, that's great. You know, listen, all the sponsors we have here on the Steve Kane Show, either I use them, Steve uses them, or I both use them before we tell you guys about them. We test people out, and when we recommend people with our personal endorsements, believe me, it's because we've had great experiences.
Contractors out there need to use these guys. You don't have to waste your time going back to put a fence up when you can be on another job.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, listen, thanks. I appreciate the call. All right, take care. All right, now I just got a text message from Al Knight about the Cooper City crime. Really? Yeah. I don't know what Al Knight's doing up to date on all the latest crime, but I guess that's where he rolls. But Al Knight, you guys, by the way, everybody knows Al Knight. Steve and I have been with Al Knight for years and years and years. Yeah, that's right, on the weekends. I was listening to him Saturday afternoon. But Al Knight, who's up to date on all the Cooper City crime, I have no idea why. That has nothing to do with anything he does in his life that I know about, so I don't know if you're going to talk to Al. But he said a woman was shot and not killed, and it was a robbery at a coffee shop, but it wasn't a Starbucks. Al Knight's got a lot of intel on this. What is going on? I don't know. Maybe we need to look at him a little bit. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Well, you know, the thing about shootings, my wife and I, about a year or so ago, well, so far. You know, my wife and I were driving to Miami down I-95 about a year or so ago, and we were southbound, and I heard gunshots, and I was like in the middle lane, and I immediately got over to the side and hit the brakes as fast. My wife's like, "What's going on?" I said, "Those are gunshots," and it was boom, 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 boom. She said, "They don't sound like gunshots." People are used to gunshots on the gun range. When you're out and about and you hear gunshots in the open air, they don't sound as menacing, and they sound very different. You never know, but luckily the woman... So we have part of the crime solved, Steve. Is it a coffee shop you go to?
The lady who was shot is still alive as of the time of the phone call.
Well, we have our own crime reporter here, Al Knight. That's right. I don't know. I'm a little... Yeah, talking about murders. Well, I don't know. I think people are more interested in the crime in Idaho than Cooper City, Steve. You know. Which one?
The Idaho.
You know, there was a guy that was on the radio here in South Florida at night. You'll know more of the details. While he was on the air, the radio station was robbed at night. Remember that? Do you remember who that was? Jerry Witchner. The guy, he was on the air late at night. He was the only one at the radio station. Yeah, he was the only guy at the radio station, and someone broke into the radio station and robbed it while he was on the air, and little did they know, he always had a pistol in the studio next to the control board. So they picked the wrong radio station to break into. People break in because they want all the copper wiring and everything, because it was at the that stuff can be valuable. But yeah, I know. We have the Sloman Shield here in the doorbell cameras, so they wouldn't even get through the multiple locks you have to get through even to get to that door. But that happens. All right, guys. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. You know, and I'm getting all the information from Al Knight as to how he found out about the information, but I just don't know why. Yeah, he should call in. The murders. Is there another way to celebrate the holiday? Yeah. Well, I would like them to have this. Well, I'd like to get the Idaho murders settled before Christmas, for the families. That's just awful. I mean, it's just an awful thing these people are going through. It's just terrible. All right, listen, we'll take our break. When we come back, we'll get into some other topics, though, all right? It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. Al Knight's texted me all the ways that he knows about the crime, but I don't think I want to tell people, Al Knight, how you know about the details. I want people to wonder. I think it's more interesting for people to wonder how you know all this stuff as opposed to how you actually found it out. All right, listen, we'll take our break. We'll come back. There's a lot more to talk about. Again, our number 1-888-GO-CANE 1. We'll be back right after this.
Sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-CANE1. This is the Steve Kane Show.
Could you get that, hold on, audio for me? Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Could you? Yeah, because if you could email that to me, because I want to give it to, I want to make it into a spot, but I want to give it to the sales guy too.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. Or you could text it to me too if you got my number, but either way.
Licensed roofing and general contractors. At LaPorta Contracting, family is what we are. Roofing and
Yes.
is what we do. We help
Yeah, my phone number? I didn't see the number, the email, but
Oh,
yeah, you can text me that. Yeah, you can text me there.
I want to just,
Yeah, I know. That's all I need. I have to change my number again.
954-604-4602 or visit us on our website at laportacontracting.com. That number again is 954-604-4602. 4602.
Are you a business owner? Are you interested in growing your bottom line? Then it's time to join the Boca Raton Chamber of Commerce with members from Jupiter to Miami. You can mingle at their monthly breakfast or after-hours network. Join a leads group. Learn something new at a masterclass or attend one of 3 women's events. There are over 300 events to choose from, including one for young professionals. Sound interesting? Call Allison or check out bocachamber.com. There is a 95% business tax deduction if you join before the end of the year.
Do you suffer from neuropathy, back pain, shoulder pain, or osteoarthritis? Stop the suffering and stop the pain. Call Lighthouse Medical Center, 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation. When you mention you heard them on the radio, 754-222-6642, 754-222-6642, online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
Hi, it's Drew Barrymore here with a few of my favorite things that are absolutely free. Taking a walk in the rain, petting a dog, and streaming movies and TV shows on Pluto TV. Did I just say Pluto TV is free? Yes, I did. You can even watch Pluto TV for free while you pet a dog. Pluto TV has thousands of movies and TV shows, all for free. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. Steve is here. You know, Steve, we are just a few short weeks away from our cruise, and I know I can't wait, especially when it's so cold. And I got a message for all the cruisers. You know, if you're already made reservations and are joining us, you can actually check in online right now, which you should do. You know, I've got a group of 4 coming with me. You know, my daughter's coming. My mother-in-law's coming with her husband. One of my father. I have multiple father-in-laws. Everyone's divorced and remarried, you know. So I have multiple father-in-laws and mother-in-laws too. But my mother-in-law is coming, my wife's mother, her husband, my daughter. My daughter's bringing a friend and me. So I got a group of 4. We already checked in online. And it's a cool thing to do because it's not only does it, you guys got, you and Lori have to do this too, Steve. It saves you time at the port. You get on the ship faster, so the free drinks and everything flow faster. And you get to pick what time to board. Okay, you know, whatever time you want to board it, you get like a time to show up and you get right on. I'm going to be in the first group at 11:30. Okay, I'll be boarding the ship. So at about 11:30 and 35 seconds, I'm going to have my first drink, and then I won't remember anything until the next week. But go and do that, guys. All right, so wanted to touch on some of the things though that I touched on earlier, and also we'll take some more of your calls. The show has just flown by today. It's amazing. The Twitter Files Part 6 came out, and Steve, I was telling you about this over the weekend. It's gotten really zero coverage in the press, and the Twitter Files Part 6 had the biggest bombshell that's come out of all the Twitter files. And I thought the Twitter files before this one had the biggest bombshells. Everything else has been just mild compared to what came out over the weekend. And it's really media malpractice going on, that the mainstream media have ignored the story. And this is what came out. That after Donald Trump won in 2016, the FBI, that would be Comey, formed an 80-member FBI agent task force whose only mission was to monitor Trump supporters on Twitter and other social media platforms. So they had this 80-man task force, all of them agents of the FBI, okay, which is, you know, and I'm telling you, this is a task force probably larger than was searching for some of the more famous serial killers and other criminals over the years. So they formed an 80-member FBI agent task force just to monitor MAGA activity on social media. They were in regular contact with Twitter on very casual contact on banning people who were not even famous people with very small follower accounts. And this 80-member FBI agent task force, this has never even been heard of before. We knew from the we knew from the other Twitter files that there was some contact between FBI agents and Twitter, but we didn't know that they had an entire 80-member task force whose only job was to do that. And what I've not been able to pick up on, and you out there in the listening audience, a couple questions for you on this. One, have you seen the story in the mainstream? Have you seen this on Fox at all, Steve, over the weekend? I have not.
It's mentioned in passing.
In passing?
Yes, but you're going to find that they're, other than the talk shows, because they don't control the talk shows as tightly as they do the news programs, there's going to be very little discussion of Trump. They're going to try to freeze him out of the news.
Well, this is okay. So the 80, if nothing else came out of all the Twitter files, but that the FBI had this 80 agent team monitoring MAGA people, and they were monitoring people who were not famous, who had very small followings, people that had like a couple dozen followers on Twitter. They were going after the FBI, and there's I was not able to get enough information from it to get a good timestamp on it, because here's my question. Now, it did say that after Donald Trump won in 2016, the FBI formed this 80-agent task force with the sole mission to monitor Trump supporters' activity on social media, in particular Twitter, okay? That was, we got that information, which means it was Comey, because Comey was still the FBI director. But what I couldn't figure out was the time when this happened. Did it happen after the inauguration and Trump was the president, or did it happen when he was president-elect and Obama was still president? And did Obama sign off on this? And what did Biden know about this? Because he was involved in these meetings at the time. So what I remember, we got a story a few months ago, well, maybe about a year ago by now, that the wiretapping operation on Trump Tower continued after Trump was president, right? They were spying on Trump in his White House computer and in the West Wing Oval Office extended office area. We're all being spied on. This is a part of that. If they did it after, if this team was put together and put in place by Comey after Trump was president, that's like treasonous. I mean, that's just treason. They did something rogue. Really, it's treason. It's a coup attempt, and everything else. If it was done when he was president-elect, because we do know it was after he won, but we just don't know when after he won. If it was when he was president-elect, that means Obama was in on it, and probably Biden, who was in on all those meetings with Obama in the aftermath of this, on the wiretapping of Trump and everything else. And that means that the people that were involved in that, many of them were probably working in the Biden White House, because they brought back a lot of people from the Obama White House. So when the Twitter files first came out, Jean-Pierre said the White House had nothing to do with it. Well, this new piece of information is the biggest bombshell yet. So if anyone has any thoughts on this, I certainly like to hear from you. But if you've been able to figure out the timeline of when Comey set up this 80 FBI agent task force, was it when Obama was still president and Trump was president-elect, or was it after Trump took the oath of office and after the 2016 election? Our number, 888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. Steve is back from his his sick week, and we'll be back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. We're going to see clear conditions. It's cooler this morning. As a result, they will see partly cloudy skies in the presence of high pressure with highs in the mid to upper 70s. I'm FM 25 First Morning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
Palm Beach commute this morning. 95 on the turnpike remain crash-free, moving up to speed. Just some very light volume on 95 north and southbound approaching Lake Taylor and Lake Worth Road. Turnpike southbound just a little bit slow now passing Lake Worth Road, and we're seeing some lighter traffic on 95 heading northbound from Deerfield Beach and Boca. The surface streets are crash-free at this time. In Broward County, we have a multi-vehicle crash on the turnpike heading southbound at Griffin Road. The accident is blocking 2 left and 2 right lanes. Stopping where traffic goes back to 595. We also have a crash on Griffin Road westbound Southwest 61st Avenue. A crash on University Drive at the Sargas Expressway. This report is sponsored by Macy's. Join Macy's in supporting Big Brothers, Big Sisters of America throughout the holiday season. Give online today and round up your store purchase amount and donate the extra change up to 99 cents to help empower kids through positive mentorship. Learn more at Macy's.com/purpose. That's traffic. I'm Chris Barr.
Hear that music? That means it's Christmas.
Man, has the show flown by for you guys too? It has flown by for me big time. Really has. Absolutely amazing.
Right now, order your My Pillow, My Slippers for $90 off in all sizes and colors for both men and women. The My Pillow that started it all is just $19.98. The 3-inch My Pillow mattress topper is 50% off. The My Pillow pet bed is 50% off too. There's also incredible savings on the 6-piece My Pillow towel set, the 100% Giza cotton dream sheets, the My Pillow bathrobes, whatever special you see. Take advantage of it with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at mypillow.com. You can also order over the phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
Where does the magic of the holidays come from?
This is the control room. The new studio is not quite finished yet. It's next door to me. It's much bigger. This room's pretty big too, though. I'm just closer to the window in this studio than I was before. I'll give a tour of the whole place. I don't miss the old place. Oh my gosh. The old place smelled. It was so trashy. Didn't you see the video that I made of the tour of the old radio station? Oh my goodness.
Brian Craig here with a question for seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a healthcare advocate at the touch of a button? Would that make life easier for you? Prescriptions. They'll help you find a doctor, including a specialist. If you've been billed improperly by a doctor's office or a hospital, they can help you with that too. They'll even be an advocate when you're in the hospital to make sure you get the care you need and the care you deserve. And that's just the beginning of what they do. I Will Advocates takes care of all Steve Kane's healthcare issues too, and they can do the same for you. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Call Debbie at I
Yeah, the fan's on overtime. The computer must be really hot.
1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326.
Mm-hmm.
275-2326.
New Year's Eve, the biggest night of the year. Many of us have been celebrating for decades, but never like this. The True Oldies Channel welcomes Harris Pompano Beach in the year 2023. Nick Latino spinning live. Scott Shannon in person. Now that's the way to start the new year. The true masters of radio in an unforgettable night. Let loose and play to your heart's content as you ring in the new year. Visit Caesars.com to sign up for Caesars Rewards and start playing your favorite casino slots and games to earn entries for cash and prizes, including a $20,000 cash giveaway. That's a lot of money. Join us and bring your friends to the ultimate New Year's Eve bash at the new Harris.
Well, thank you, Viking. Sometimes I don't talk during the breaks because I got to rest. You know how much I talk? You know? And sometimes I'm thinking about what I'm going to talk about when we get back. I don't know. I have no idea, but I don't think I'm going to tell you everything. I don't need people to know exactly where I'm at.
Celebrating 45 years on the air.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, and of course, Steve back today. You know, Christmas is right around the corner. Oh man! And for Christmas dinner, my family we're having an Italian Christmas dinner from Anne Marie's, and of course, Christmas is on Sunday this year. So what I'm doing, I'm going to get takeout on Saturday from Anne Marie's, and this is what I'm getting. This is going to be Christmas. I'm just going to heat everything up, and well, maybe well, since I'm on the radio talking about it, I can't try to act like we cooked this, because they're all going to know. Everyone's going to know. But this is what we're getting for Christmas dinner. We're going to get the lasagna from Anne Marie's, which of course is Grandma's recipe, baked ziti, spaghetti and meatballs, and oh, let me tell these are from the Italian favorite section of the menu. The meatballs at Anne Marie's are huge. I mean, huge. And of course, the meatballs, like everything else, homemade right there with Grandma's recipe. And then I'm going to get a Sicilian meat lovers pizza. And finally, the lobster ravioli. I'm going to get the entree, not the appetizer. It comes the lobster ravioli, which is made with fresh Maine lobster, the claw meat, which is the best part of the lobster, and it's Maine lobster. It comes in both appetizer and entree. I'm going to get the entree so there's enough for everyone to have as an appetizer. And that's going to be my family's Christmas dinner from Anne Marie's. And it's you guys can do the same. And you okay, Steve? Yeah, you just cleaned out my ears with that one. Let me mute you while you're getting that together, because ooh, it went right in my ears. But the Anne Marie's portions are huge. You've heard me talk about this, and everything I've ordered at Anne Marie's and had there, I've taken home and heated up, and they'll tell you how to heat it up, and it tastes great. So that's what we're having for Christmas dinner. You should all do the same. And Anne Marie's is located on the northwest corner of US 1 Federal Highway and Copans Road in Pompano, in the same plaza as the movie theater. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. All right, Steve, you back with us? Okay, good. Okay, good. Now, I want to play this clip of Biden. I know that they may not talk about the 80-member FBI task force undermining the President of the United States that was set up illegally, but they're talking about this clip of Biden with the Purple Heart story, but I want to talk about it too, and I want to share it. This is Biden talking about his uncle and the Purple Heart.
Not because of the Battle of Bulge, but he said, and he won the Purple Heart. And he never received it. He never got it. You think you could help him get it? We'll surprise him. So he got him the Purple Heart. He had won it in the Battle of Bulge. And I remember he came over to the house, and I came out, and he said, presented to him, okay, we had the family there. I said, Uncle Frank, you won this, and I want the piece. I don't want the damn thing. I'm serious. He said, I don't want it. I said, what's the matter, Uncle Frank? You earned it. He said, yeah, but the others died. The others died. I lived. I don't want it.
Okay. All right. So that's Biden. So he tells this story when he became vice president, which was in 2008. He got his uncle this Purple Heart, and he turned it down. The only problem is his uncle died 9 years before, in 1999. And he told this story that 8 years later. Yeah, I know. The mainstream media are so desperate to defend Biden on this, because this is all over the place. They're not talking about the FBI team from the Twitter files, but they're sharing this, and they're trying to deflect and build up Biden. They're so desperate to defend Biden on this that they're calling him a liar, that he's fibbing. He made up the story.
Did they include that information in the coverage?
What, that his uncle had died 9 years before?
Why?
Well, they say, this is what they do. They say that the story that his father died 9 years before, and Biden has a history of being loose with the truth. While that may be true, that's not the case here. Biden is suffering from some type of age-related dementia. And he's just out of it. And he's just confused. And when you watch this video, he looks confused. There was one day last week when you were out sick, Steve, there was Biden gave a big speech about the gay marriage thing he was signing the other day. And there, right before he spoke, seconds before he spoke, you can see Jill hand him something that he puts in his mouth, and then he goes and gives the speech, and we were talking about what that could be. It was obviously something to enhance him so he could get through the speech. I saw him with this speech, and you can tell this little thing here, he's checked out, and he gets this look on his face where he was leaving the podium a couple days ago, and he didn't know where to go, and a little girl showed him how to get down from the podium. And, you know, they're so desperate to defend this guy that they're calling him a liar, as opposed to saying what really is going on, that he's suffering from dementia so bad he's confused. He's not lying here. He doesn't know that he believes that this happened. And you can tell by looking at him. He gets this look on his mouth when he's checked out and confused, you know, and I could see it in his face there.
When he lies, he has a habit of taking his right forefinger and rubbing it on the side of his nose.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever
like this.
Whatever he says is lying.
Well, he didn't do the nose thing with this one. He believes the story to be true. And, you know, I mean, come on. He's unfit. And, you know, all this talk of impeachment, I don't know how these things work, okay? But it seems to me that the vice president, when think about this, when we see Biden, it's at his best. When they see him when he's not pumped up with whatever Jill handed him. So they see him what he's really like, which has got to be, we probably don't even want to see that. It's so bad. It seems to me that the vice president has a legal obligation to intervene and step in when the president is this checked out. And, well, she can talk. She can talk and go to a microphone, and they can't stop her. And the fact that she hasn't done that has got to be an impeachable offense. If you are allowing someone who is this mentally incompetent to continue as the president without even suggestion of the 25th Amendment, you've got to be guilty of a high crime or misdemeanor, which is the impeachable offense mode. I mean, they both need to be impeached. This is dangerous. There's a war going on now in Ukraine. There's a war going on, okay? And this is what I'm not rooting for either side. I just don't want us in it. But you know,
you don't want to give the Ukrainians the weapons that would protect them, the anti-aircraft weapons that would save their lives.
Yeah. No, okay. Well, I don't know, but I do know this: Biden is completely checked out. His cognitive decline is more frightening than ever. He's getting worse all the time. I was talking last week. I saw him Thanksgiving week when he was with his family, and the cameras were far away. Right, they were like across the street, and he was like shopping, and everyone's and the whole Biden family. They're all talking and having a good time. You know, because they've been stealing and everything. And Biden is just there lost. He doesn't know where he's at, who he's with. His mouth is just hanging open, and you can tell he's just totally lost. And then this thing happened over the weekend, and they're trying to defend him by calling him a liar. It's pretty bad. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian and Steve. It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
Andrea, how are you? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you for a great year.
Oh, you're sweet.
No, I'm really not, but that's okay. You like me anyway, Steve. So,
You know it.
Are you guys, what is this, phone sex? What's going on here? I mean, this is like, you know, we're on the radio, people. Oh, I'm really not nice, Steve. I'm really a bad girl, Steve. You just don't know. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Save all that stuff for the cruise.
So 3 quick things. On the FBI thing, I wonder if that has any ties to the United States Postal Service surveilling everybody's social media.
Well, I don't know about that, but I was trying to find this out over the weekend, and I couldn't figure it out, okay? I was trying to find how many FBI agents were assigned to the Unabomber. How many FBI agents were assigned to the USS Cole attack? How many FBI agents were assigned to those African towers that were attacked? How many were on the task force focused only on Osama bin Laden? And I'm telling you, I bet you that this 80-member MAGA task force after Trump won in 2016 was larger than many of those other task forces that they put together, which tells you where their priorities are.
Well, exactly. My second thing is that story, the clip that you played about those 4 girls that were murdered.
With the scream, yeah.
This is what seems weird to me. If this girl was so afraid that she had a stalker, that she's traveling unpacked, why were the doors unlocked in her house?
Who knows? I don't know.
If you're that scared, why are the doors unlocked? And the third thing is, everybody has to understand that what they're doing with President Trump is just one big psyop. It's just one big lie, like they've done on this man for the past 6 years. But I will say this: nobody's coming to save you. You have.
Well, you know, this 80-member FBI task force is huge. It's the biggest development in all of the Twitter files by far. I mean, there's just, you know, it's the biggest development that's come out of it yet. And I really want to know, it's important to know if this was formed before or after the inauguration, because if it was before, that means Biden knew about it. Because Biden wasn't checked out yet. He still had his wits about him, and Biden was involved in the briefings on the wiretapping of Trump Tower and the further spy ops that went on Trump after the election. So if this was signed off by Obama, that Biden had to be a part of it. And Jean-Pierre is out there saying that Biden and his team had no knowledge of anything that's come out in the Twitter file. If you know, and when did Trump find out about this? Did Donald Trump know at any point during his first term of this 80-member FBI task force policing his followers? And you look at the list, and we're not on the list, Steve, that's come out yet. But Right Side Broadcasting was on the list. You know, and other people that have been on, you know, it's very big to get the time frame down to it. Is
Okay, Andre, thank you.
No, we got to run for the break, and I'm kind of tired of this this little creepy thing going on here. No, it's time for the Gold Report, Steve. You guys can continue that, you know, another day, okay, when I'm not around. Okay, our number 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back with the Gold Report. All right, every morning at this time we check in with William Youngerman with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report, and this, of course, is the first one of the week. William Youngerman, how are the metals starting the week off?
Metals are starting off fine. They closed up nicely on Friday. Gold closing at $1,793, up $16, and silver was up 15 cents, closing out the week at $23.21, while platinum up $15 at $9.89, and palladium lost $90 at $1,630. This morning we got gold up $1 right now at $17.94. Silver up 9 cents at $23.30. Platinum up $11 at $1,000 even, and palladium up $15 at $16.45. So the metals are holding nicely at these numbers and giving us a little bit of a buying opportunity.
Yeah, that's right. And it's Christmas week, and of course, William Youngerman, you have lots of things, watches, jewelry, and other things that are great for Christmas. What specifically do you have in stock that people can come in for last-minute Christmas shopping for?
Well, certainly we have all the small-sized gold products, small gold bars, small gold coins, 1 ounce silver products of just about every description. And of course, we always have some very interesting items to give that will speak history and beauty and finance to a lot of people.
Yeah, that's right. And this is one of those weeks, especially when you get towards the end of the week. I know the guys. Are you open regular hours this week, William Youngerman?
Yes, we are.
Okay, because I know come Thursday and Friday, there's going to be a lot of guys that they're doing their last-minute shopping, and you can do that because they're there all week, but try to get in there as early in the week as you can. William Youngerman is located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You can find him online at williamyoungerman.com or give him a call after 10. They open up weekdays at 10. 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we'll touch base tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, back after this.
Justice Warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve is here, and there's only one opening on the board at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Now, before we go back to the phone, stand by, guys. I want to tell you guys to call Sloman's, tell them you heard about them on the radio, and they're going to tell you how you can get a free doorbell camera. I have one. You will love it. It will change your life, okay? Of course, it's tied to the security system, and you're safe, and you're secure. But it's also just convenient. You can see who is at your door at any time, no matter where you are. And my wife and I, we use it all the time, mostly for our Amazon deliveries and Instacart deliveries and things like that. But oftentimes people come to the door. There's a knock at the door. And even though I've got a big sign that says no soliciting at my front door, I've come to realize, Steve, that solicitors don't know what soliciting means. So they do it anyway, and but I see them on the doorbell camera, and I just let them knock, and eventually they go away. But you can get a doorbell camera for free. Here's the number. Give them a call. They'll tell you how to do it. 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. All right, let's go back to the phones. Again, only one opening on our very busy board. Here we go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Al. Good morning.
Ugh.
With Trump getting the recommendation to be prosecuted by Congress.
Do me a favor. Turn the volume down. You're the most chronic caller in the South Florida radio market. You know this. You know how this works. Turn the volume down of whatever you're listening to us on. Oh, my goodness. You've been on the air more than a lot of radio people. You've been calling shows for so many years. Okay. All right. Get back to your fantasies.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Hard to believe. Anyway.
It sure is.
Right now, Trump is going to be indicted shortly.
No, he's not. Slow down. Slow down. There's no indictment. The Congress doesn't indict people.
It'll be coming up probably February and March from Jack Smith.
Yeah. They're gonna recommend a criminal referral of about 3 charges to the Attorney General Merrick Garland. That's not an indictment.
They're very close.
Of course, you know that, Al, right? Tell us, Al, explain to Brian, because I know you're an expert in these matters, the difference between a criminal referral and an indictment. What's the difference?
Well, the criminal referral has no weight with the Justice Department. They do what they please.
So why are you bringing it up if it has no weight?
Well, one of them. Because he has no sense. You are, yeah. Listen, Al, there's a difference, okay? I'll explain to you, okay? Because you're obviously, okay. Yeah, yeah, exactly. The difference, I bought a what? No, unfortunately, I didn't. I wish I would have, because I could have turned my $99 into $26,000, but I didn't do it. But, But no, the difference between a criminal referral and an indictment is pretty simple, okay? A criminal referral is a political thing. An indictment is legal. So what's going to come out of this kangaroo committee is a political ploy, a political stunt.
was sent by Trump to inspire thousands of people to come to the
Inspire? He inspired it. No, first off, there was that's not what happened, and you know it. What happened? He had a rally in front of the White House where he gave a speech, and he invited people to the rally that was about a mile or so away from the Capitol. But you know all this.
187 minutes, he did nothing. That's your Trump. 187 minutes, he sat on his fat ass and did nothing.
When Pearl Harbor was attacked, when Pearl Harbor was attacked, how long did it take Roosevelt to respond?
What does that got to do with the price of tea in China?
I'm asking. Okay. On 9/11, when America was attacked, how long did it take George W. Bush to respond?
He responded right away.
No, he didn't. He sat there and read, what was that book? Heather Has Two Mommies or something? They were reading the kids' book in Naples.
Yeah, they had to secure his exit.
No. He sat there while they read the book. Look, it's so bad that this jerk's defending Bush, who you said was a war criminal before. All right, take care, Al. Merry Christmas. You need it. You'll see Al on Christmas morning at the breakfast bar at Denny's. All right, alone with all the other loners. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
How do you put him on all the time?
Well, we take our calls screenless. So I don't really know. I don't know until they're on the air. So one of the,
More than 5 seconds.
I thought his call was constructive today. I was able to make some good points, as were you, about this criminal referral.
Hey, I only got one to ask. Why is Trump endorsing McCarthy?
I'm not 100% sure that's true. Because I was reading this morning, he's staying neutral on it.
Pence on. I love him.
Where did he have Mike Pence on at?
On his show,
Really?
I must crawl. Like, what the heck? Did they give him a hard time?
Plug the book, probably.
No, Huckabee's show is almost like a Johnny Carson type of show.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And
yeah, I watch it sometimes. I miss that one. Let me tell you, I don't know why anyone would talk to Pence. Why would you talk to Pence? And I'm very disappointed in Huckabee for doing that. I really am. I'm very disappointed in Huckabee for having Pence on. Now Pence was on Newsmax about 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to make an excuse for them on that. Greta had him on. Greta Van Boring had him on, who's the weak spot of their entire lineup. Okay. And I think she just kind of did it on her own. I'm not going to hold Newsmax accountable for what Greta Van Boring did, but I have no idea why. She's not a Republican. Plus, she's a Scientologist. But so far as Huckabee, that's disappointing to hear. I don't know.
And then have that the thing ASAP.
It may have something to do with that because I did not know about this. So you said it, so this just popped in my mind. His daughter and being the governor, and all that, something to do. His daughter's political career probably has something to do with it, because he's part of the establishment. So he probably did it. He probably did it for Sarah. Come to think of it, for his daughter. I can't fault the guy for doing something for his daughter. I mean, would you interview Benedict Arnold for your kid? You wouldn't? I'd talk to Benedict Arnold for my daughter. Sure, why not? No, I wouldn't do that. I'd have some questions for him, but, But I'm sure it had something to do with his daughter.
Well, I hope they straighten out who they're going to have for their Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
They look like idiots deciding, well, I'm not going for him. I'm going to vote for him. And Mitch McConnell pulling all that money out.
Well, listen, Mitch McConnell. Yeah.
Democrats, it's Republicans.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Hey, listen, thank you for the call. All right, I appreciate it. Now, I want to say, before the show ends today, I just want to remind people that if you're suffering from pain, you don't have to. Call Dr. Appleton. You know, today, it's a cold day. It was 60 degrees when I left the house this morning. This is one of those days my knee and my arthritis would have been acting up. Nothing. Now, I would not even know I had a knee after my treatments with Dr. Appleton if I didn't do these commercials. The only time I think about my knee or my arthritis is when I'm talking to you guys about it. Dr. Appleton, his laser away pain treatment works. I know it works because it worked on me in 2 different areas of my body on 2 different types of pain. My knee was an injury and my finger was arthritis. And with my knee, 2 treatments, the pain not only was gone, it has not returned, and it's been months and months now. It's been over a month since he treated me for my arthritis in my finger. I had 1 treatment, and the pain was gone, and it's not returned. Now, Dr. Appleton is open 6 days a week. Day 6 is on Saturday. I'm not sure if he's going to be open this Saturday or not. You guys can call and find out. But no appointment is necessary and walk-ins are welcome because Dr. Appleton knows when you are in pain, you need help and you need relief now. You can find him online at AppletonChiro.com. Now, again, the laser wave pain treatment works on all kinds of pain, not just the ones I'm talking about. But we're short on time. It's a long list, and I'll go through the list tomorrow. But give him a call. Stop suffering. Go through your Christmas and New Year's pain-free. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the radio. All right, that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. And good to have you back, Steve. Steve was off last week. He was under the weather and watching the World Cup. You can do both because it's on TV. He didn't go there. But everyone have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow morning. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. I'm Brian Craig. Steve, of course, rejoined us today. God bless America. And, of course, don't forget, God bless on this Christmas, Donald Trump. See you tomorrow.
WNN AM Pompano Beach. WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting live from the Rogue Studio. Injured recently? Call the Rogues Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700.
All right, guys, I got to make room for the next guy, but see you soon. Make sure you like the video before you go, all right?